Sports presents NCAA College Football. Navy in Washington, and Washington last week against Stanford, led by this young man, Tom Flick, to a spectacular victory over the Stanford Cardinals. He had a day to remember, passing for 278 yards and 2 touchdowns and guided that final gasp drive that set up the field goal to win the important conference game. Number 13, Chuck Nelson, from 24 yards, right through the uprights as time expired, and the Huskies had a big win, 27-24, that may send them on their way to the Rose Bowl. And today, from the University of Washington Stadium in Seattle, the 4th meeting between the Midshipmen of Navy and the Washington Huskies. And this ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. By Chevrolet and your Chevy dealer with Chevette, Monza, Citation, and the new Monte Carlo. Chevy's up ahead for 1981. By IBM, helping put information to work for people. And by Texaco, with over 66,000 employees doing their best at their jobs to keep your trust. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Keith Jackson, along with Coach Frank Broyles. This is the 4th meeting between Navy and Washington, as we said. Frank, I remember 1960, when Joe Bellino had a big day against the Huskies, and Greg Mather kicked the field goal, and Navy beat the Rose Bowl-bound Washington team that year, 15-14. And I know that George Welsh feels this bunch could do the same thing.
George has a very fine game plan, Keith. He feels like he's going to have to score at least 4 times in this ball game, recognizing the fact that Washington has a very talented offense. And I want to enlarge on what you said about Tom Flick. Last week, he clearly established himself as one of the top quarterbacks in America. Now, Welch is coming into this ball game after timing up his pass offense with the idea that he's going to the air at least 25 times. His objective is to keep the Washington offense sitting on the bench, thereby giving him a chance to win the football game. I think we're going to see a lot of action and a very, very exciting football game.
All right, Frank, thank you very much. The flip of the coin, Navy will kick off. Washington will receive. Doing the kicking, Steve Fair, number 24 for the Cadets. Deep men are Anthony Allen and Kyle Stevens. I don't want to call them cadets. I want to call them middies. It's Anthony Allen. And the game is underway just that quickly as Allen comes out to the 22, close to the 23-yard line. The Washington offense, led by this youngster, Tom Flick. He's from Bellevue, across the lake here, and he's had a terrific year. Kyle Stevens comes out of San Jose, California. Big guy, Toussaint Tyler, is also a Californian. From Gig Harbor, Paul Scansey. Terrific year as a freshman, big year as a sophomore, and so as Aaron Williams, having a big, big year as a sophomore. 2 of the outstanding young wide receivers in the entire country. The Huskies are wearing the home colors, purple and gold. Navy in the road uniforms, and here's your first offensive play of the ball game. Flick turns and sets back to throw, swings it out to Tyler. And Tyler, from the 23, goes out of bounds up at the 33, and that looks like it might be a first down. The offensive front, Kurt Marsh, 275-pound tackle. James Carter is a 249-pound guard. Mike Riley, the center, at 243. Mike Curtis at guard, 232. Randy Van Devere, 280. And the tight end is David Bale, and he's another outstanding tight end at 6'4", 226. Second down, they need just inches. Same formation, same set, with a man wide to the top of the screen, and they keep it on the ground to Tyler. And Toussaint Tyler fumbles the football. Washington recovers it. It looked like big Randy Van Devere, the offensive tackle, stepped in to scoop up the loose ball. It will be a first down with the Navy defensive front, Fancher, Garner, Huxell, Chambers, and Rouser. The linebackers are Dumbald and Kronzer, 2 good ones. The secondary, Reagans, Ross, Bublett, and Shoemake. So the Midshipmen now have given up a first down to the Washington Huskies. And the defense is the group that's going to have to keep Navy in this football game this afternoon if they are to make a run at Washington. Tyler's in motion. The pitch goes to Kyle Stevens. Stevens, the tailback, and he's across the 40, and he gets the better part of 4 yards as he gets up close to the 42. The Huskies, as you can see, started out scoring a lot of points. Then for A reason the coaching staff cannot truly explain. They went flat against Oregon and got themselves trounced here in their home stadium. But since then, they run off 3 wins in a row, including that breathtaker last week against Stanford. The Midshipmen, on the other hand, lose the opener and then play very well, but then they go flat and lose to Air Force. But Navy, I should tell you, has lost 6 offensive linemen in the course of the season. That's a place where you can't lose people. Hand off to Kyle Stevens. He is brought down. He fumbles the football. Navy comes up with it. So Washington makes a mistake, and Big Steve Chambers, number 73, a senior out of La Mirada, California, comes up with a loose football. Fred Reitzel will be at quarterback. Mike Sherlock will start today at tailback, number 23. Kevin Tolbert is the fullback from Hempstead, New York. Greg Papajohn, the wingback, number 82. And Dave Dent, the split end, he is from Florida. So here's Navy with an opportunity at the Washington 46, first down.
36.
Reitzel turns and he gives the ball to Sherlock, and Sherlock breaks it big over the left side. He goes down close to the 36-yard line of Washington before Ken Gardner can bring him down. Keith Boring is at tackle, 255. Steve Hooper is at guard for Navy. He's a 240-pounder. Mike Dolan, the center, 219. Bob Tufel, 240 pounds. Frank McAllister at tackle is 255. And Kurt Gaynor, a fine tight end, he is a 210-pounder. So they're bigger, it seems, at the military academies than they used to be. It is a first down for the Midshipmen, so that should give them heart. The reason the quarterback, Reitzel, is wearing number 26. He was allowed to keep his old number because he wore it in the defensive secondary as a safety and a starter and an all-Eastern performer. So they needed help at quarterback. He stepped in to do the job, and George Welsh is very pleased with him. First down, Midshipmen, Washington 36. Huskies show a 4-man front, and the roll by Reitzel. The pass to the sidelines. It is complete. Down at the Washington 25 to Dave Dent, 185-pound senior wide receiver from Verona, New Jersey. Defensively for Washington, they line up this way. Jenkins, Giroux, Olson, 3 down linemen. The outside linebackers would be, in effect, defensive ends. Gagliardi, Driscoll, McLean, and Stewart. The secondary, Horton, Stapleton, Gardner, and Harvey. And that secondary played well last week against Stanford. The ball is just inside the 25. It is first down for the Navy. Gaynor, the tight end, number 87, shifts over to the left side, gives him a strong left to the open side of the field. Reitzel gives it on a reverse. And Gaynor, the tight end, is brought down at the line of scrimmage. A fine defensive play by Gagliardi, the outside linebacker, a senior from Seattle.
Navy wants to get the ball to Gaynor, number 87, their tight end, feeling that he, Keith, is the best athlete on their team. On that pass play, that was an in-the-round play, trying to catch the Washington defense, pursuing very quickly to the strong side, but Gagliardi was not fooled.
So it is second down and 10 at the 25 of Washington. Papajohn to the near side.
32.
And Reitzel gives to the tailback Sherlock, and Sherlock has daylight to the 16. So the Navy offensive front rebuilt as it is, opening some holes with Tufel, that time making a big block.
Tufel and McAllister, the right side, made good blocks, opened up good running room for Sherlock, the tailback. He's running just straight over the right tackle, has good daylight, goes straight for the goal line, turned upfield beautifully for a big gain.
So the Midshipmen are down at the Washington 16, where it is third down and a yard and a half for another first down in the first quarter of play.
3rd and 1 on the 16.
It is Tolbert, the fullback, and he's got the first down. As again, the right side of the Navy line blocks well, and he goes to the 12, and it's first down Navy.
Kevin Tolbert carrying it for the first.
There's the history of the series between the two teams. Actually, only one of the games have been lopsided. Washington won big one time. All 3 of the previous games have been played here in Seattle.
Keith, I've been very impressed with the offensive line of Navy. As George Welsh said, they've had major surgery. 3 people playing a new position for the first time, but they've got good movement, good surges on all these plays.
From the 12 of Washington, first down for the Middies. Reitzel to throw it. He has time. He has a man. The pass too high. He had Gaynor open.
Kurt Reitzel's pass for Kurt Gaynor.
Kurt Gaynor is, as I said earlier, is their best receiver. And they feel like that he has a chance on the strong safety because he has 4.6 speed. He's going in and break out on the post route, the quick post route. He's wide open, but Reitzel's pass is a little bit delayed and overthrown also. Otherwise, it would have been a Navy touchdown.
And a shock to Washington. It is 2nd down and 10 from the Husky 12. Game number 5 in this series. I think I said 4 a while ago. It is to Sherlock. Sherlock trying to go wide to the right side on a slight delay, trying to get the traffic flow the other way, and Mike can't get loose. Gagliardi again, staying home, makes the tackle.
What we've just witnessed is that Navy went for a touchdown pass, went to the air for 1st down. It was incomplete, so it takes them out of their game plan. They now have to go to some trick plays or go to the air again. The last play was a reverse, kind of a finesse play, unsuccessful.
And the ball is sitting just inside the 10, where it is 3rd down and 8 for the Middies. Reitzel to throw it. He has time. Now they chase him out of there. He's got some room. Look out. Reitzel, touchdown, Navy!
On the replay, we will notice that Reitzel fakes the running play and he drops back, but he sees that his receivers are covered. And what I was worried about, Keith, how he would react on an unscheduled situation. He scrambled, he showed his resourcefulness and his running ability as he turns it up downfield for the touchdown.
He also got some help from the center, Mike Dolan, to clear the path for him to score it. The kick is up by Fair. And it is good. And at 10:33 to play in the 1st quarter. We may have ourselves a football game here in Seattle as the Navy goes on top 7-0.
Now comes Miller time. The flag is dropped, the race is a memory. And now you're coasting into the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you got the time, if you got the time, we got the beer. If you got the time.
Arriva, an all-season radio for the 80s. Even its footprint tells you it's different. Arriva. Today, you need a tire that gives you fuel economy and all-season performance, wet, dry traction, and long tread life, hydroplaning resistance, and dry road stability. Arriva. Even its footprint tells you it's different. Only from Goodyear. Goodyear. Quality and innovation.
Fred Reitzel guides the Navy 46 yards in 8 plays using 3 minutes and 9 seconds. And the Midshipmen take the lead in the ball game 7-0 over the Huskies, and Navy now will kick it off.
One thing we can expect from this Washington football team is that they will throw from anywhere on the football field. The first play of the ball game, if you remember, was a pass, a successful one to Tyler, but they believe that Flick can complete the passes enough and they'll throw on any situation.
Anthony Allen and Kyle Stevens are deep as Fair. Comes to the ball and hangs it up. And it's Stevens 1 yard deep in the end zone. Skips his way through there and gets it out to the 23, where the Huskies will have it. 1st down, brought down by John Oberle. The Pacific 10 standings now, as they existed coming into the ball game, you can see Washington in the conference 2-1, with UCLA, USC, Arizona State ineligible for the Pac-10 championship. Oregon and Oregon State also ineligible for the Pac-10 title. So, half the conference ineligible. That puts a great premium on the final standings in the conference, but once, if you have a tie in the conference standings, you then go to the non-conference record. So this game could have meaning for Washington down the road. They hand the ball off to Toussaint Tyler. He's got a couple of yards as the Midshipman defense rises to greet him at the 25. Now, to go on just one step further in talking about this Rose Bowl situation, Washington does not this year play UCLA. They play USC at the Los Angeles Coliseum. So the conference games remaining for Washington are those reflected there, with USC being the most obvious one, though Arizona State is a very swift football team that probably could cause them a lot of trouble. Washington State, of course, is a traditional rival and playing Stanford this afternoon over in Pullman, just east of here. The pass is in the air by Flick, thrown well under pressure, and accepted up at the 28-yard line by David Bale, the tight end from San Marino, California. It's sort of a go versus stop today. That was a headline in the local newspaper.
There are the numbers for Washington offense. As to the Navy defense, Navy's been very impressive. As you can see, they're 4th in yards allowed on defense and also in points allowed. That's very impressive. But on the other hand, Washington ranks 13th in offense.
The Huskies right now looking at a 3rd down and 6 with the ball at the 27. Flick will throw. He goes deep. Allen. Pass intercepted by John Ross, number 4, Jeff Shoemake of Navy, number 14. Shoemake cutting across in front of the deep pattern and picks it off. The Huskies have turned it over twice, and Navy's got the football at their own 48-yard line.
Flick is going deep down the sideline, and Shoemake, the safety man, all he has to do is move over. He's watching the quarterback, playing zone, watch him come into the picture right in front of Allen, number 15, the receiver. Outstanding interception and another opportunity for Navy.
And Fred Reitzel sets him out of the I formation with Tolbert and Sherlock. And it is the fullback Tolbert. And Tolbert is running hard as he goes all the way down to the Washington 42. That's close to a first down. Ken Gardner, number 29, brought him down.
George Welsh told me yesterday, watch out for Kevin Tolbert. Coming right up the middle, number 40, Driscoll, is the man that you have to block on quick traps right up the middle. And you can see 77 coming in and making the block. And finally, Driscoll making a fine play, rolling off the block, finally wrestling Talbot with help. Well, that's a great running performance by Talbot, who's 4'6".
They need just 3 or 4 inches for the first down. Ball is just short of the 42.
In the change of personnel, starting Sherlock at tailback instead of Eddie Myers, their stronger tailback, they plan to use Talbot more on direct plays up the middle.
Double tight end on 2nd down and a couple of inches, and the quarterback Reitzel keeps it, plunges down to the 40, gets a first down for Navy. So the Midshipmen, impressive. Here in this first quarter, they have picked up 5 first downs now to 1 for Washington. We have 8:38 to play in period number 1. Navy leading 7-0.
Washington is well equipped to move the ball this year, both on the ground and in the pass, but they're less equipped to defend because they only have 2 starters returning from last year.
Reitzel took it in on a scramble from 10 yards. Now he's got a first down at the Washington 40. It is Sherlock. And Sherlock is caught from behind. Grabbed by number 65, Fletcher Jenkins, 247-pound junior from Tacoma. Next Saturday on ABC's presentation of NCAA football, we'll have a doubleheader for you, the feature game being South Carolina and Georgia. Georgia going into this weekend undefeated. South Carolina losing once to USC in Los Angeles. Carolina, of course, with the great George Rogers at tailback. And the Bulldogs have that freshman phenom, Herschel Walker. It'll be a great one. It is 2nd down, a little bit more than 10. As Reitzel rolls it to play. Pressure from the backside. Passes away. That could be interference. It is. The contact was made too soon by Derek Harvey, number 3, on the intended receiver.
Keith, that was a good call. Gainer was the intended receiver trying to drag across the middle.
Strong safety Ken Gardner was coming on a full blitz too, Frank. Just got rid of it as he felt the pressure from the backside.
It's a real strange play from up here. It looked like Harvey, and you called it perfectly, just tackled it.
Yep.
Just reached out and tackled it.
Defense, first down.
All right, there's the call by the referee, James Springer. The other officials you saw, George Rankins, Robert Beal, John Jones, Bill Fetty, Richard Chanel, with Jay Stricketts, the alternate. Double wide to the top of the screen, or the left side, open side for Navy on first down. And they give it to Tolbert, the fullback. And Tolbert is down to the Washington 23. Good strong run again by Kevin, a 208-pound senior out of Hempstead, New York.
Keith Boring, who's starting for the first time for Navy at left tackle, made an excellent block on Rusty Olson, one of the very fine defensive players of Washington, springing Talbot into the secondary for the nice game.
They mark him down at the 24-yard line where it is second down. Second and a short 7. Papa John goes in motion for Navy, the wingback, and they pitch the ball to Sherlock, and Mike is at the 22 for a couple of yards. It'll bring up third down. They've got to go to near the Washington 17 for the first down.
Say again how impressive I am with the Navy offense. The backs are running hard. The quarterback is executing. He scrambled for the first touchdown. He looks like he, even though he's a safety man for 2 years, as Keith has already mentioned, he's now playing quarterback, and the coaches have a great deal of confidence in him. They plan to throw about 25 times in this ball game.
Third down and 4.
Okay, let's go.
A little over 4. Red to throw, sets up the screen. Ball is dropped by Sherlock. It's an incomplete forward pass. Ball was thrown behind Mike. If he'd been able to get his hands on it, he had plenty of room to get good yardage. So here comes the field goal try for Navy with Steve Fair coming in. He's 6 out of 10 in field goals on the season. Perfect in his extra points for 35 total points, as you see. This one will come from 39 yards.
Steve Fair kicking.
Dave Dent, wide receiver hold. Snap is good. Fair's kick is in the air. He's hooked it to the left side. It is not good. So he hooks it just outside the uprights with 6:13 to play in the first quarter. Navy leads Washington 7-0.
Chevy Citation. We said it was a whole new kind of compact car, and we proved it. We put Citation to work with its front-wheel drive, room for 5, outstanding storage space, and impressive mileage. And now, as the best-selling front-wheel drive car in America, with Motor Trend's Car of the Year award, 500,000 owners, and 6 billion miles, there's no doubt about it.
Chevy Citation.
It works.
Just say hello to a brand new world. It's just outside your door.
Now that Pan Am and National are one, you can fly Pan Am to 25 great U.S. cities like Washington, D.C., Las Vegas, and New Orleans, and get the kind of international service that's made us famous. Say hello to Pan Am.
Say hello to a brand new world. Say hello to Pan Am.
All right, Navy missing the field goal. Washington gets the ball out at 22-yard line. And the Huskies come up now. Washington in 2 possessions have fumbled and been intercepted. Flick hands the ball off to the tailback, and Kyle Stevens up to about the 26, maybe close to the 27, where Mike Kronzer, linebacker, brings him down. And Alabama in the third quarter finally getting it going against undefeated Southern Mississippi, leading 21-7. We'll have highlights for you at halftime with Dave Dials.
Mike Kranzer and Mike Rouser made the stop.
SMU jumping on Texas in the third quarter to lead by 7. That's a surprise in the Southwest Conference. It is second down and 6, and it's Toussaint Tyler. And Tyler bowls his way. The 215-pounder from Oceanside is close to a first down.
It's very obvious that the Washington coaches decided to change their strategy. 69, Dumbolt, is the fine linebacker of Navy, and watch him make the play on the sweep. He recognizes immediately, and that's what defensive football is all about. Recognize it and move in and make the play. Get some help from a couple of other midshipmen.
Leading tackler on the football team. Outstanding play. He and Kronzer are just dominating the defensive stats for Navy. First down for Washington, just outside their own 32. Navy leading 7-0 first quarter. Flick swings it out to Allen. Allen trying to set up the screen, get it going, and oh, he almost got away. He almost got loose, and if he'd have just taken one more step down, he'd have been gone. Boblet smelled it, made the play. Penalty flag on the field. Clip Huskies.
Keith, I know every coach fears the letdown that you might have after a great win the week before, such as the Stanford game last week. Boy, you worry about this. You do everything you can to alert the team. Hey, Navy's coming here ready to play. They'll be fired up. They have a good defensive football team. They've been able to score some this year. We're going to have to play our best, and they haven't done it.
The man doing the clipping, Kurt Marsh. The man clipped was John Foley. Here's James Springer.
Clipping, offense, first down.
Clipping against the Huskies.
The football is moved back to the Washington 16. First down and 25.
Tom Flick had a great game last week against Stanford, 21 out of 33 and 2 touchdowns, and established himself as really one of the best in America. There is numbers for the year.
They send Stevens in motion. Flick gives the ball to the fullback, Toussaint Tyler. Tyler, who has played at tailback some this year, an open field tackle by number 31 for Navy, John Ross, junior out of Phoenix, Arizona. And again, Tyler was one step from breaking the big play.
The draw play is very good on a long yardage. You're going to watch the nose guard, number 56, Huxall, run himself right out of the play. That's right, Tim Jordan, excuse me, number 56, is in the game now. Very fine run, good call.
It is now third down at about 16. Flick getting pressure, gets it off. It's Kyle Stevens with the ball. Words aren't coming out today. They're hard to get out. Chris Boblett, the rover, number 34, smelled the play, came over and made the tackle. So it is now third and long.
Navy had excellent reaction to the screen pass. For a moment, it looked like that Stevens was going to have running room, but Chris Boblett, the strong safety, came right in and made the play.
Ball is at the Washington 28. And it's third down and 14. Double wide to the top of the screen, Allen and Williams. Now they've got 3 over there as Stevens goes that way. The pass is thrown to Stevens. Stevens has the ball, and again, a good open field tackle by number 34, Boblett. And Washington on fourth down will have to punt the ball away. Some other scores: Ohio State in the third quarter leading Minnesota substantially. The big score came out of the Southwest Conference a moment ago, with SMU leading Texas 13-6 in the third quarter.
Rich Camarillo kicking.
Rich Camarillo to do the punting for Washington. Callahan is the man Navy normally likes to have the ball. And he has to call a fair catch and almost fumbles it back on the 26. Navy has the ball after a fine 42-yard punt by Camarillo. 2:40 to go first quarter, and the Middies lead by 7.
We're at the National Computer Conference. Over 400 computer companies are showing their products, and IBM is showing its lower-priced 4331 computer.
This is built for an office environment, doesn't need extra air conditioning.
The logic inside this machine is only about the size of a toaster oven.
This IBM computer incorporates important technological innovations. For example, logic circuits that used to take up this much space now take up this much.
We're giving you more capability at a lower cost.
This has got to be the only industry with the prices going down.
Compared to previous IBM computers of similar capacity, this computer uses 70% less energy and sells for less than half the price.
Yeah, that should cut our costs.
IBM never stops working to improve the computer. But then, IBM's competitors aren't standing still either. IBM, helping put information to work for people.
The membership of the National Federation of State High School Associations coordinates interscholastic activities programs for 20,000 schools. Millions of boys and girls are educated and entertained by the program. They are the other half of education.
The sun is out quite bright right now in Seattle as we have 2:40 to play in the first quarter, and Navy with the ball. First down at their own 26. And Reitzel delivers to Eddie Myers. Myers in at tailback for the first time. The leading ground gainer for the Midshipmen on 90 carries, 400 yards, and he picks up about 2 as he gets it up beyond the 27. UCLA to a 3-0 lead over California in the first quarter. And Florida State defeated Memphis State 24-3. So Bobby Bowden's Seminoles continue to roll along. Boy, they won 2 big ball games in the middle of their season against Pittsburgh and Nebraska, didn't they?
Woo. Particularly the win against Nebraska was in the 4th quarter.
2nd down and 8. They try it up the middle, and Tolbert, the fullback, is to the 31. It'll be 3rd down and 5 as Mark Giroux, a junior out of Mercer Island, Washington, makes the play. Number 67. Let's have a look at it.
Mark Giroux is a nose guard, and his job is to whip the center and then go to the football. See him use his hands. That's the secret of being a good nose guard. Just shove the blocker aside once he recognizes the play, and he does. He shoves Dolan, number 75, to the side and makes the tackle.
On 3rd and 5, they move Gaynor, flip him over to the left side, the tight end. Reitzel to throw it. Shoots it over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Myers, the intended receiver, the tailback, and he took a shot from Jerry McLean, a senior from Snohomish, Washington. North Carolina ranked 7th in the nation. The Tar Heels rolling today, 31-3, still undefeated. And in the 4th quarter, a neighborhood war between Penn State and West Virginia, and Oklahoma State's pulled out to a 14-7 lead. And Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and Knoxville today, with Pitt leading by 10. Lex Lauletta now is in to do the punting for the Navy. And we've got 1:22 to play in the 1st quarter. The play stopped for a moment by the umpire. As he comes over to say something to the Navy captain, he wants to get a new football in the game.
If I was Navy, I'd be real careful kicking to Ken Gardner. He's excellent punt returner.
Gardner standing back at his 25. Pressure zone. The kick is a knuckleball hanging up in the air, and a fair catch is called. And a penalty flag back at the 20-yard line. You could have a roughing call back here. That's what you got. So that will enable Navy to keep the football. It'll be a 26-yard punt. So that's a big flag, and it gets some hoots from the hometown folks.
Keith, that's the 4th mistake that Washington has made in the 1st quarter. Let's watch it again. As you can see, he's trying to kick away from Gardner. Let's see if 30, Chris O'Connor, the substitute back, is blocked into him, that's a bad call. The rules say that if the defender is blocked into the kicker, it is not a foul.
Well, he's definitely blocked into him.
The rule is clear on that.
Has the football 1st down at their own 46th. And Reitzel back to throw. He wants to go deep. He does go deep. The pass is thrown out of bounds. And the pass intended for Dent, number 86.
Let's take another look at it. And the rule states very clearly that if a defensive player rushing into the kicker is blocked into the kicker by one of the kicker's teammates, it is not a foul. I don't see how it could have been more clear. It's a legal play.
It is 2nd down and 10 for the Navy at the 46. And they're raising Cain about the call down in the crowd. End off to Myers. Myers is down to the Washington 45, falls inside close to the 44, and we may need the chains on for this one. It'll be close.
Again, I was impressed with the left side of the mid line, offensive line. Boring and Hooper made outstanding blocks. Myers had a lot of running room to rush for 9 yards on that play.
It is 3rd down, about a foot. Fullback spins, 2nd effort. I don't think he made it. Washington drilled him. 48, Tony Caldwell. 10, Ray Horton. They would not let him spin off the stack and stretch out for the gain. As a matter of fact, they hold him for a loss. It is 4th down and a full yard. And the 1st quarter is over. So Washington's defense holds Navy, forcing the kick. Navy leading 7-0.
Hey, JD, try Mattel Electronics Football 2, the all-pro version of the #1 electronic football game.
Hey, what's the difference?
Now you can kick off, run back.
Now that's good.
Pass.
That's even better.
Scramble in any direction.
I'm getting clobbered.
The built-in thinking computer defense can even intercept.
Who's in there?
All-pro Football 2.
I said who's in there.
Football 2, one of 9 sports games from the #1 name, Mattel Electronics.
You don't need a haircut, Mr. Reed. You need Brill Cream.
Brill Cream?
Sure. Your hair is short enough, but it's a mess.
It sure is.
Brill Cream so concentrated, just a little dab keeps my hair healthy looking and in control all day. Watch. Without Brill Cream, hair's out of control. With Brill Cream, hair stays in control. Try a little dab. See? Terrific, huh?
You're right. With Brill Cream, a little dab will do you.
State Farm and life insurance. More and more people are putting them together because the agent who handles their other family insurance is probably the best agent for their life insurance, too. We know our customers. We know their problems and their needs because we see them on a regular basis. The good neighbor idea is a great idea when it comes to life insurance.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's life insurance, the State Farm way.
For the Navy, and a full yard. They will punt it. There's Lauletta is in to do the kicking with Gardner deep. Averaging just over 40 yards per kick. Hangs it up there. It's a good kick. Hits on the goal line and bounds on through. And Washington will have the ball first down at the 20.
Here are the stats for the first quarter. Navy has the upper hand, as you can see, 7 first downs to 2. They have an advantage in rushing, a little bit behind in passing, but total they have a convincing lead. Offensive plays very commanding, 21-12.
Now let's see if the Huskies can quit making mistakes here as we get them in their first possession of the second quarter. It's a 5-man punt for the Midshipmen. Tyler and Stevenson set behind Flick. Play action, Flick drop. Behind the line of scrimmage, Tim Jordan, the junior from Hackensack, New Jersey.
Tim Jordan, number 56. He's only about 230 pounds. Watch him just use his hands. This is his 11th sack of the season, even though he's not a starter. He just keeps going right on back to Flick. Flick had no one to throw to. Good coverage in the secondary, but a magnificent effort by Tim Jordan.
Loss of 9 yards, second down, 19. Ball back at the Washington 11. Ball given away to Kyle Stevens. Stevens just caught by Tim Jordan again. I tell you, he's playing a heck of a football game here in the early going from the middle guard position.
Tim Jordan, as you can see, again, is right on the center's nose. He uses his hands, and he's strong upper body, and he's just going to shuck the blocker away and move right over and tackle Stevens. Another fine play.
He's really handling Mike Riley right now, 243-pound center for the Huskies. Ball is still at the 11, where it is 3rd and 19. Flick's pass is away. The pass is good to Bale. Bale is up to the 16-17. And it'll bring up 4th down, and the Huskies will have to punt. On ABC's presentation of NFL Monday Night Football next Sunday, that's right, special edition on Sunday, the San Diego Chargers and the Dallas Cowboys, tomorrow night at 9 Eastern Time. And that's got to be about as exciting a matchup as you could have.
There's going to be some fireworks. The Chargers threw for over 400 yards, Fouts did last week, and Dan White's having a great year. Should be a terrific matchup.
Camarillo hits the ball from the 8. Good hanging punt for Callahan. Fair catch call by Callahan. And Navy has the football. At their own 47, it was a 36-yard punt. We've got a timeout with the Middies leading 7-0.
Hey, here's a guy who's turning coal into gas. Watch. Wow, that's a good way to use coal. It's called coal gasification, and Texaco has developed a special process to do it. Right now, Texaco is working with other companies on an even larger demonstration plant. By making gas from coal, Texaco will save enough crude oil to make more heating oil and more gasoline. Texaco's coal gasification, one more way we're working to keep your trust.
We want to make you smile.
I'd play to his backhand.
We're gonna make you smile.
Holiday Inn offers you the widest choice of the most popular resort locations.
I saw that.
Come to Holiday Inn where your smile says we're #1 in people pleasing.
Friday was this Ali's last fight. From the first bell through the painful aftermath. The Holmes Ali Championship bout, plus the WBC World Lightweight Championship. Friday on ABC.
I don't know what it is either.
I don't need the key.
Neat hairdo. Navy's football, first down. Let's call it the 47, close to it. Handoff goes to Myers out of the tailback, and again a huge hole in the middle of the defensive Washington front, as Navy's offensive people are really doing a job. Dolan, Tufel, and Hooper.
I want to enlarge on what you said. That left side of the line, and there's what Herman, look at Herman's record. He's approaching the all-time, or he just went over it, didn't he? Yep. Just broke it.
But Michigan State sitting on an 18-9 lead. That's a bit of a surprise in itself. Second down and 4 for the Middies. Ball on the Washington 48. Reitzel's pass to the sidelines. It is out of bounds, incomplete to Dent. The split end.
It was a very good call. Dent going into the boundary, you usually get one-on-one coverage, and so Dent just goes down, and he's going to make the defensive back think he's going deep. This is the key for any short pass. Make him think you're going deep. Then he turns it outside, but Reitzel is a little bit slow. Watch, he has to leap for the ball. It's not quite properly thrown, and he lands out of bounds, and it's incomplete.
Third down and 4 for Navy. Reitzel is 1 out of 6. His first pass was a completion. Going to put it up again. Now he's going to run for his first down. He gets it down to the Washington 42.
Fred Reitzel running it.
He showed good judgment, Keith. If he'd thrown to the tight end coming across the middle, it could have been intercepted.
You can see that Stanford's opened quickly against Washington State over at Pullman, leading 14-0. UCLA's lead over Cal now is 10-0. UCLA ranked 3rd in the country. And Pittsburgh has built its lead over Tennessee now to 23-6. Change are brought in. They don't quite advance him as far as the 42. They've marked him down closer to the 43. But it's still a first down.
Navy's game plan is working beautifully. That is to keep the ball and thereby forcing the Washington offense to stay over on the bench. But the Washington offense has made mistakes in this first quarter.
12 minutes to play in the first half. Navy leading 7-0. Washington fumbled it away. Navy took it in. Reitzel's pass over the middle is deflected and almost picked off. Gardner was reaching for it, couldn't quite get it after Driscoll had tipped it.
I know the Washington defensive backs are disappointed because they had 2 chances. As you said, Keith, both Gardner and Harvey had their hands on the ball, and neither one of them could control it. They need a break. They need something to happen to get a chance to get some momentum away from this Navy team.
Second down and 10.
Second and 10 on the 43.
Ball is just beyond or outside the 43 of Washington. Tailback Myers. Whoa, that's a fine run. And it's another Navy first down. Big block by Tufel, number 57. Pulling guard.
Keith, he pulled and trapped the defensive end, number 65. 57. You can see him pulling and trapping out, but the cut by Myers, you can see him blocking out on Stewart, number 38. Myers cuts back inside. All good runners run down the field. To get those shoulders turned, they have the momentum. Very fine
17. Play. Ball is at the 26. Fullback Tolbert. A yard.
Kevin Tolbert into the middle.
What Eddie Myers has done in the game today, came in with an even 400 yards, averaging 4.4 on the season.
Maybe our fans will remember, viewers will remember his great performance against Army last year.
Yeah.
How many yards was it? 278 or something like that?
Tore him up. Navy now has 9 first downs. Washington 2. Ball at the Husky 25. That's Papa John in motion. Rigel still got it. He's looking for Gaynor, can't find him, runs it down to the 23 and takes a lick. Coming in hard, Mark Giroux, 6-7. George Welsh right there, head coach of the Midshipmen.
Keith, I'm very impressed with George Welsh. He was a fine football player at the Naval Academy. He's made an excellent coach. He's just a figure of integrity and dignity. And someone tells us that he's been mentioned for the Notre Dame job. You had an interview with him, didn't you? We'll talk about that later.
Yep. 3rd down, 7. Myers got a lot of room. Huskies may have stopped him short of the first down. It'd bring up 4th down and short, I do believe, and a decision by George Welsh here.
This is what they pay the head coaches for. Go for it. Go for the field goal. It'll all depend upon the distance. If it's very close, I predict he'll go for it.
Fair has come on the field with his kicking tee. You may change your mind. Steve's coming back off now. And need about a half a yard.
Too much.
They'll go for 3.
About a foot short, and it's 4th down.
Notice Fair comes out, walks to the ball, then paces himself off. Puts his tee down, Dent to hold it. 34-yard attempt. He missed from 39 in the first quarter. Plenty of leg. It is good. 9:52 to play in the first half. And the Midshipmen of Navy have jumped out to a 10-0 lead over the Washington Huskies.
We have had small 4-cylinder cars in Europe for years. Now you Americans are going to have to take care of your cars the way we have had to. Spark plugs are critical. If one goes, you only have 3 left. Autolite has plugs designed for small cars. They've got a fused glass seal for full power. So if you've got a small car, why not use a plug designed for small engines? Autolite.
Introducing an important step ahead. Chevy's new 1981 Special Economy truck. Compared to Toyota's 1980 small-size pickup, Chevy's full-size pickup has more load space. Chevy has a roomier cab. But surprisingly, Chevy has the same EPA mileage estimate as Toyota, with an even better highway rating. And with its larger gas tank, Chevy goes further between fill-ups. More load space, roomier cab, equal mileage, longer range. Amazing. Chevy trucks, an important step ahead.
Tomorrow, the best men and women golfers from the 4 corners of the globe compete in the exciting and colorful World Amateur Team Golf Championships. Tomorrow on ABC.
Steve Fair kicking off.
That's Coast Guard.
Kyle Stevens, Anthony Allen.
It's a beautiful sight, whatever it is.
It's Lake Washington. Here's the kickoff by Fair. It'll go in Kyle Stevens' arms at the 3. And he's up to about the 23. Brought down by Andrew Ponciego and John Oberle, and other scores as Florida wins again, 13-0. Charlie Pell's Gators hanging in down south. And Ole Miss over Bandy. And Maryland edged Duke 17-14. That was a game that was seen in some portions of the South. North Carolina State. Clemson's lost 2 in a row now. And Virginia beat Wake Forest by 3. First down for the Huskies at their own 23. Kyle Stevens, the tailback. And he is brought down by 63, Mike Kronzer. He is a senior at the Naval Academy out of El Cajon, California.
Keith, he came all the way across from his left linebacker position, just continued to pursue across, and there's Tulane beating my old alma mater, Georgia Tech. No, leading in the 4th quarter.
Halftime. in there. And Indiana has finally come back to take the lead over Northwestern in the fourth quarter. It'll be second down and 6. And that's Toussaint Tyler. And he's held at the 29. In rushing in the ball game so far, Washington has gained 34 yards. Navy 101. Don James there on the sidelines, obviously concerned.
Yes, he should be, because his team is not performing as he hoped they would, particularly offensively. I'm not so surprised that Navy's moving the ball, but I am shocked that Washington isn't moving the ball as they did last week against Stanford.
8:35 to go in the first half. Middy's lead 10-0. Stevens in motion. That gives them 3 wide receivers, but they stay on the ground to Tyler. And Tyler goes from the 29 to about, well, they'll mark him between the 31 and 32. Chris Boblett, 34, senior out of San Diego, the tackle. Iowa State losing their first last week, giving the Oklahoma Sooners all they want, with Missouri beating Kansas State today by 10. And Oklahoma State by 7 in the third quarter over the Jayhawks of Kansas. It is fourth down, more than a yard. Washington's Rich Camarillo will punt. That's a good kick. Callahan goes all the way back to his 17, where he drops it and gets it back to about the 22. That was a 51-yard kick by Rich Camarillo with 7:43 to play in the first half. And the Middies have the ball at the 22.
Walt Garrison?
Hey.
You know, since I started going smokeless, I wouldn't be without my happy days. Just a pinch between my cheek and gum gives me real tobacco pleasure without lighting up.
Same goes for Skoal with its fresh wintergreen taste. And with either one, just a pinch is all it takes.
Walt?
Mm-hmm.
How many home runs did you hit in your career?
Try going smokeless. You're gonna like it.
I'm Pete Conrad. I've flown fighters for the Navy, a spacecraft to the moon. And in my work here at McDonnell Douglas, the DC-9 and DC-10 as well. The DC-10 is one of the most thoroughly tested jetliners in the world. It flies 1 million miles a day. And this is our new DC-9 Super 80, the quietest plane of its size. Quiet inside, quiet for airport neighborhoods. The new Super 80, the DC-10. I recommend them.
Each level of NCAA football has its own competitive excitement and thrills. This includes the 110 Division II and 189 Division III colleges. Join in the colorful traditions at a Division II or III game in your area.
Navy comes up to the football. First down at the 22. They lead 10-0 with 7:43 to go. First half. Red Reitzel, the quarterback. Sherlock, the tailback. A yard. Mark Stewart, outside linebacker, or what amounts to a defensive end, made the play. Syracuse beating Rutgers. Rutgers now, after their great effort against Alabama, has lost 2 in a row, so in effect they've lost 3 straight. Boston College winning easy today. Boston College, a team that Navy handled, playing what was described to us by the Navy people as almost a perfect game.
Boston College only penetrated Navy's 50-yard line 1 time for 1 play.
From the 23, second down, 9. Reitzel to throw it. Gainer got it out of bounds. Fine catch at the Washington 48. He got behind Ken Gardner. Gardner's 5'10", 186. Gainer's 6'2", 210. Pick up 29 yards on the play.
When you can see Gainer weave in and out, and he's just in behind Gardner, but he makes a sensational catch. His concentration level was excellent on that play.
George says that he's been one of their most consistent offensive players.
I was just before saying, I wonder what strategy Welsh would use, having a 10-point lead and backed up for the first time on their end of the field, but he went to the air.
And it's first down at the Washington 48. And the tailback Sherlock to the 45 for 3.
You have to give credit to look at the first downs. Navy 10, Washington 2. That is indication of what's been happening. Washington defense has been unable, Keith, to slow down the Navy attack.
2nd and 7, Navy, just outside the Washington 45.
Give it to the fullback, Tolbert. Tolbert runs it down to about the 41. That'll leave him about 3 yards short of his first down. There's the Washington Husky mascot.
Never seen a game plan, Keith, work so beautifully as Navy's, keeping the ball, keeping possession, thereby keeping the Washington offense, which is so potent, has so many good weapons, sitting over on the bench.
They need 3 yards for the first down. Go to Sherlock. He's caught behind the line of scrimmage by 65, Fletcher Jenkins. Second big play of the ball game for Jenkins. It'll bring up 4th down.
What happened on the play, the guard pulled to lead the reverse, and Jenkins came right through the opening and was clear into the backfield and made a great effort to tackle the ball carrier for the loss.
Gardner going deep. Lauletta will punt. First kick was 45 yards.
Next one, left kicking. Ken Gardner back.
Gardner takes it. And he is buried back around the 11. A 32-yard punt, but effective because Washington accepts the ball with very poor field position again.
Oh, Mr. Goodwrench, can I get a tune-up?
Sure can.
What's that?
Your written estimate.
Mr. Goodwrench wants you to know in advance just about how much the job will cost. He has the GM training and tools available to do the job right.
Gee, that's reasonable.
Mr. Goodwrench knows our customers don't like surprises.
Keep that great GM feeling.
Where Mr. Goodwrench works.
With genuine GM parts.
This ranch doesn't run without horses. And the horses don't run without you. But when you've hammered out a day's work, you meet up with Miller Time.
When it's time to relax.
Time for the best tasting beer you can find.
One beer stands clear.
Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
Next Saturday, an NCAA doubleheader here on ABC. South Carolina, Georgia, a prime game. The other games will be chosen at a later time and will be announced on Monday. It'll be fun to see George Rogers of South Carolina square off the Gamecocks against the Bulldogs. Young freshman Herschel Walker, Buck Ballou and company out of Athens. First down at the 11. Washington's field position remains poor. Flick sets him with Tyler and Stevens behind him. Stevens run down behind the line of scrimmage. 41 and 69. John Foley and Ted Dumbold. Here's the big linebacker, Dumbold.
Watch Ted Dumbold recognize the play, and he doesn't waste any time. That's the mark of a good linebacker. He is going after the loss, not waiting and moving out the line of scrimmage. He goes in and makes the play. That was a sensational effort on his part.
Second down, 12. Washington back at its 9. Flick will put it up. Gets his pass away, and the pass is incomplete. David Bale collisions with Boblet 34. No flag. Washington's possessions in the game to amplify on the field position while you study Navy's defense there. The Huskies have started at the 23, 23, 22, 20, 23, and 11. And with this kind of a defensive team against them, they've had their problems.
Coaches recognize the fact that you'll score about 1 time out of 10 when you're more than 80 yards away from touchdown.
4:14 to go first half. Third down, 12, Washington. Flick to throw. Blacken. Blacken makes the catch. First down, Huskies at the 29. He beat John Ross on the play. Again, the factor of concentration, Frank.
Absolutely. You'll see that Blacken goes in, sets up his defensive back, Ross, and then leaps up, and the level of concentration there is sensational. He comes down with both feet. Excellent play.
Huskies first down, their own 29. It's Tyler. And he muscles his way past the 33 to pick up about 4.
Picking up 5.
That was really the first meaningful completion by Flick, the Washington quarterback, but I haven't seen a receiver really open. In any of the pass patterns that they've tried, Navy has just covered them.
Well, Ross had his hand on the ball there.
Yes, he did. It had to be a perfect throw and a fine catch to complete it.
Second down, 6. Flick looking, throws short. Tight end Bale. Bale caught. Got a first down up at the Husky 42. Boy, there are a lot of good tight ends in this country right now.
Aren't they, Keith?
Look here. That's the biggest upset of the season possibly working there, with Southern Methodist leading Texas in the fourth quarter 20-6.
SMU had just lost their last 2 games after winning their first 4. That's a great comeback for them.
First down, Washington. Ball just short of the 42. And it's Kyle Stevens out of the tailback position, taking some licks as he gets it up to about the 44, close to it.
And little Tim Jordan, nose guard, was back in the play along with the linebackers. And I must say that Jordan in the middle and the 2 linebackers are really giving Washington a lot of trouble in their running game.
The Huskies, however, have now doubled up on Jordan at the middle guard. Quiet him down a little bit.
He merits it, Steve. He does merit it.
But where you seal one crack, that opens another one somewhere.
Turns the linebacker free.
3 wide receivers to the open side of the field for Flick. But he goes short to Bale, the tight end. And it's a saving tackle by number 84, Mike Rouser. That's the 4th or 5th time in the game where a Navy man has made the catch just before a Washington man got really loose.
You can see that the Washington coaches feel that Jordan needs to be double teamed. Watch the center. Riley's taking him, and then Curtis, number 75, is blocking him. And, of course, Flick has time to complete the pass.
Chains out for the measurement. Bale has caught 4 for 25 yards. Flick now 8 out of 10 for 59 yards. And the football is at the Navy 48 for the Huskies. First down. 2:03 to play in the first half. Midshipmen lead the Huskies 10-0. Starting back on their 11-yard line in this possession. This is the 8th play. And Flick will throw it. He gets it off short. Bale can't hold on. Incomplete forward pass. Right there to hit Bale was Mike Rouser, who had dropped off from his defensive end position. Halftime today, we'll have highlights of the Alabama Southern Mississippi game, news, the Washington band, and some highlights of the first half. Halftime today, we'll have highlights of the Alabama Southern Mississippi game, news, the Washington band, and some highlights of the first half.
Navy, with the clock, the enemy of Washington, are double covering the receivers and just rushing 3 and 4 men, defending on most of these downs.
1:45 to play first half. 2nd and 10. Ball is at the Navy 48. Ball goes to Toussaint Tyler. Tyler gets outside. And he is out of bounds at the Navy 20 by Jeff Shoemaker.
On the replay, it's the draw play. Obviously, Navy thinks it's going to be a pass, but Tyler cuts back, picks up the blocks of his wide receivers. He weighs 225 pounds. Watch him run down the boundary before Shoemaker, number 14, knocks him out. Here's Jordan, number 56, and he's running, trying to rush the pass, and he overruns it, takes himself right out of the play.
And it's first down Washington at the Navy 20 with Steve Chambers out, injured at the defensive tackle position. And the Huskies now starting to move it. Have it down at the Navy 15 with Willie Roseborough, a 231-pound sophomore fullback from Simi Valley, California, in the backfield. Chambers replaced a defensive tackle for Navy by Paul Soares out of Wilmington, Delaware. Washington has called time with 1:20 to play in the first half.
Introducing the new 1981 Monte Carlo. Virtually every inch reshaped, every line resculpted with economical V6 power. A new Monte Carlo. And you'll choose it because you're proud of who you are.
You and Monte Carlo.
A matter of personal pride. 1981 Monte Carlo from Chevrolet.
What smells so good?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
What's the occasion?
No occasion lunch.
I'm starved.
Why not a sandwich or a burger?
Well, the Colonel only uses good, wholesome chicken. And with all the fixings, it's a meal with real substance.
A meal you can sink your teeth into.
And the price makes sense today.
Especially on our budget.
It's so nice to feel so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
With 1:29 to play in the first half, Don James watching his Huskies put together their first offensive thrust of the ball game. Starting on their 11, they have it 2nd down 5 at the Navy 15. Stevens at tailback, and he's near the 13 before the midshipmen get him. Mike Krunzer leading the tacklers. Ron Blacken, wide receiver there, number 17 at the Washington sideline. And the Huskies have called another timeout. They have 1 remaining now with 1:22 to play in the first half.
You have to commend the Navy defense for the job that they have done all of this first half, because Washington has the weapons. They have a fine running attack. They can throw the ball. They have talented receivers, a great quarterback that's already proven himself as one of the best in the country, and yet this Navy team has kept them from crossing the goal line so far. 28 minutes and 38 seconds, I guess.
Go on, guys! Go on, David, get it going!
Obviously, Keith, they're going to have to go to the air. Navy has been double covering, but on the last play, they recognized they'd left themselves a little bit thin. As UCLA leading California in the second quarter.
Townsell, a long run there, 100 yards, huh? That's a good-looking football team.
Well, they were on. I watched you on TV against Ohio State. That was one of the best performances, complete performances, that I've seen in a long, long time.
The football is sitting just inside the Navy 14. Can you imagine the anticipation that must exist right now in Bancroft Hall in Annapolis?
Well, they can be very proud, and Navy is going back into single coverage, so we're going to see maybe a pass to the wide receivers. One-on-one. Gives them a little better chance to get the ball to the wide receivers when Navy goes into the rush.
12th play coming in this possession. 3rd down. The pass is away. The pass is poorly thrown to the number 7 flanker, Paul Scansey, sophomore out of Gig Harbor. He was coming back to the ball. He had some help, but the ball was not there.
Flick
now it's a 3-point try.
Yeah, Flick had to throw the ball before he was ready, and it wasn't a good throw. He was off target. Would have been a first down, though, had it been a good throw.
Chuck Nelson, who's having a big year and won the ball game for them last week against Stanford with a 31-yard field goal try from the 21. Very little wind. The kick is up, and he missed it. So the midshipmen exult as Chuck Nelson misses for only the 3rd time this season, and with 1:14 to play in the first half, the midshipmen lead 10-0 and turn away the Huskies. The WBC World Heavyweight Championship fight between Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali will be seen here on ABC. at 9/8 Central Time, Friday night.
I'm looking forward to that, Keith. Been so much written about it. I want to see what really did happen, Alan.
WBC World Lightweight Championship live, Jimmy Watt against Sean O'Grady. And it is the fullback Tolbert running hard. He goes from the 20 up to the 28, maybe the 29. There's Jim Watt, the Scotsman, against Sean O'Grady from Oklahoma City. That'll be a good scrap, too. Timeout. Another midshipman shaken up. It's Steve Hooper, the offensive left guard from Corona, California. His replacement would be Dennis Sinnott, Jr. out of Annapolis, and he's in.
Keith, they're changing some jerseys. Obviously, Navy has handicapped an offensive line. They've had 6 linemen hurt, as you've already mentioned. Hoop was one of the best. He's had a good game so far.
Wayne Flowers, 25, in replacing Tolbert. Tolbert lost his shirt in that last play. They need a yard and a half for the first down. Mike Sherlock turns it back inside, and Mike didn't get there. He's short of the 30. It'll bring up third down and less than a yard. Nebraska pounding Colorado. It has been the longest of long years at Boulder this year. We've got 23 seconds and counting now.
Look at that.
And there's the final. Second-ranked Texas, undefeated, upset by SMU, 20-6. We'll have details for you in the Fireman's Fun flashback from New York. That is a big upset. Third down, about a yard. And they go up the middle with Sherlock. Now it's up to the judgment of the linesman as to just how far they'll let him go, but it doesn't matter. The half is over. And surprise of surprises, the Midshipmen of Navy lead the Washington Huskies at halftime by a score of 10-0. We'll be back with today's halftime activities after this message about an upcoming show on ABC and a word from our local station.
Saturday, it's the season premiere of A Night of Love and Fantasy, when Julie and Gopher fall under the Love Boat spell.
Our boat?
And create more waves than the crew can handle.
Marriage?
On the Love Boat. Then, on Fantasy Island, Rourke's greatest challenge could be his last when he battles the devil for Carol Lindley's soul.
I vow to win.
ABC's all-new season premiere.
Tonight.
Hi, I'm Norm Evans for the All-Stars, your local Chevy All-Stars. Chevy dealers teamed up to beat all competition with low prices on real economy cars, like high-mileage, low-upkeep Citations and Chevettes. Touchdown with your local Chevy All-Star. He's got your car, he's got your deal. In Bellevue, it's Brooks McKnight Chevrolet. In Issaquah, it's B.C. Hawk Chevrolet. In Kirkland, it's Lee Johnson Chevrolet.
Your father and I want to have an engagement party for you and Jim. You know, get the two families together.
Will Grandma be there?
Oh, yes, don't worry about that. Of course she'll be there. Have you picked out your rings yet?
We saw one at Friedlander's we really fell in love with. It's very simple. It's us. You know, Jim's mom got her ring at Friedlander's.
So did your grandmother.
Mom, I'm worried that the two families won't have anything in common.
Well, we have you and Jim and Friedlander's.
Friedlander & Sons, 5 generations of quality and caring.
I'm Jim Paymar. Join me tonight at 6:30.
Here's the story of what happened in the first half to get Navy its 10-0 lead. Reitzel a scramble from the 10-yard line, took it in to make it 7-0 on Fair's kick. Then second quarter, Fair hits a 33-yard field goal to make it 10-0. He missed on 2 other opportunities as Navy dominated the first half of play offensively. And now it is time for the Fireman's Fun flashback. And today's Fireman's Fun flashback is brought to you by Fireman's Fund Insurance. Fireman's Fund Insurance is brought to you by an independent agent near you. Now we go to Dave Dials in New York for some highlights of the Southern Mississippi-Alabama game and some details on that stunning upset between SMU and Texas.
Well, Golden Eagles of Southern Mississippi found out today what it's like to be in the national rankings, and then later in the afternoon found out what it's like to take on the #1 team in the land. Southern Mississippi, coached by Bobby Collins, coming to Tuscaloosa to take on the Bear and his Crimson Tide. The Bear going for victory number 303, and Alabama going for 28 in a row. We pick up the action in our special bonus coverage. Alabama's quarterback, Don Jacobs, fakes a handoff, goes the right sideline, touchdown. The extra point is good. Alabama's out in front, 7-0. Now, Southern Mississippi got a break on a pass interference call, and the Golden Eagles quarterback, Reggie Collier, number 10, hands off to Sammy Wender. He goes over for the touchdown. The extra point is good, 7-0. Alabama's quarterback, Don Jacobs, gave it to Charlie Williams, number 38. He goes up the middle, touchdown. The extra point is good. Alabama leads 14-7. And in the second quarter, with Alabama in front by 7, Major Ogilvy picks up a fumbled lateral, goes into the end zone. The extra point is good. Alabama leads 21-7. And Alabama's quarterback, Don Jacobs, number 5 again, to halfback Lenny Patrick, number 25. Touchdown, Alabama. The extra point makes it 28-7. And the number 1 ranked Crimson Tide went on to a 42-7 victory. But the second-ranked Longhorns of Texas not so fortunate in a major upset on their home field in Austin. It was SMU winning by a score of 20-6. Now, Ron Myers, when he got the job out there, he told us, I'm going to win, and I'm going to win big. Well, he did today. John Goodson got Texas in front with a 24-yard field goal, 3-0. Eddie Garcia tied it. Then John Goodson put Texas back in front with a field goal, but that was the last you heard from Texas. Craig James went 53 yards to make it 10-6. Another Garcia field goal makes it 13-6. Donnie Little's pass was picked off by Jim Mobley. He went 35 yards. Texas trails 20-6. The Longhorns put in Rich McIver, and 2 late Texas drives were stalled. So Texas, number 2 in the nation, gets defeated. Stay tuned now. We'll return for more halftime activities right after this.
You know, if you've ever looked for business insurance, you've found out how important it is to get protection that exactly fits your needs. Well, this hat, the symbol of Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies, fits almost everyone, large or small. For example, in the music field, it helps cover the world-famous Boston Symphony and the Manchester Music Audio Center. In publishing, the Chicago Tribune and the weekly Cape Cod Chronicle. In electronics, gigantic Raytheon Company, as well as Tom Hall's radio and TV. It even helps cover the Chicago Cubs. So for business insurance that's tailor-made for you, along with money-saving loss control programs that really work, make sure you ask your independent agent about Fireman's Fund. Because whether your business is large or small, you'll find this hat is just your size. In the yellow pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies, subsidiaries of American Express.
75 years ago, violence threatened the future of college football. President Theodore Roosevelt's concern for football injuries and deaths influenced colleges to develop safer rules. The NCAA was born. Today, the NCAA is comprised of more than 700 colleges. The NCAA's survival and growth have progressed through its service to college and amateur athletics. The NCAA is beginning celebration of its 75th anniversary this academic year by continuing that tradition. The NCAA, 75 years of service.
The preceding message has been provided by the NCAA.
We're at halftime. Midshipmen of Navy holding a 10-0 lead over the Washington Huskies. No surprise, may be a building here in Seattle, Washington this afternoon, as the Middies have been very impressive. Navy got on the board first with a 10-yard scramble when the quarterback, Fred Reitzel, wearing number 26, which is a bit strange. But as we said earlier, he played 2 years in the defensive secondary. Now here's the Navy scoring play. It showed great presence by a young man who moved out of the secondary to quarterback.
Sure did, Keith. Having a quarterback that can run and knows what to do when the receivers are covered is a big asset, particularly when you're close to the goal line. And Reitzel, of course, made a fine play and took it in for the only touchdown of the game so far.
That plus the field goal to make it 10-0. Now, as for Washington, the first quarter for the Huskies marked by a whole lot of mistakes. But this is a resourceful football team, and Toussaint Tyler had one of the big plays in the first half for the Huskies, which got him 28-yard run.
Well, you notice on the diagram that Tyler is going to run off tackle to the left. The blockers are going to block their man any direction that they want to take them, and Tyler has the freedom to run wherever he can find the daylight. And you'll notice that he'll cut back after he breaks the line of scrimmage. We have a man in motion, Stevens, which is a little bit different from the diagram, but it's basically the same play. Now, Tyler has the freedom to run wherever he can find the opening. It happened to break open right over his left guard, but he shows his awareness and his resourcefulness by breaking back and picking up the block of his wide receiver, Williams, finally knocked out of bounds by Boblet number 34.
But the Navy defense turned him away as Nelson missed the field goal, and that's where we are at halftime by a score of 10-0. And I would think, Frank, that the big difference in this first half has been, one, the mistakes by Washington, but also the inability to get the football to their quick wide receivers.
This is a big surprise to me because Washington has talented and gifted receivers that it's hard to cover one-on-one, and actually Navy has been double covering them most of the time. Well, when you do that, you would think from a coach's viewpoint that they could run the football, but they haven't had success running either, so you have to give credit to the Navy defense, which is ranked 4th in the nation.
Played well. All right, 10-0 Navy at halftime. We will now join Brett Hume for ABC News Halftime Report. Here's Brett.
From ABC News in Washington, this is the Halftime Report with Britt Hume.
Good afternoon. On the 357th day of their captivity, the fate of American hostages in Iran is about to be formally debated at last, starting tomorrow by the Iranian parliament. This amid persistent and persistently denied reports a decision has already been made to release some or all of them. Here is diplomatic correspondent Jack Smith.
The State Department today was staffed as it would be on any weekend, lending substance to the repeated claim here that no deal with Iran is in the works. Even Secretary of State Muskie, circled in this photograph, was away from his desk and in North Carolina watching a football game at Duke University, where his son goes to school. The entire Carter administration is waiting for tomorrow, when Iran's conditions for releasing the hostages are supposed to be aired and debated in the Iranian parliament. Officials here are abundantly aware of the bitter disappointment if the public's hopes are again raised and then dashed, so they're trying hard not to appear too optimistic. But in private, they do admit that the recent public signals out of Tehran have indicated a change of heart on the hostage issue. However, they caution that Iran's conditions for releasing the hostages, even if acceptable to the United States, will still have to be pushed through the Iranian parliament, which is dominated by hardliners. Officials therefore say that the timing of a release, indeed, if at all there will even be one, still depends on how badly the Iranians want to put the hostage issue behind them and end their isolation. And that no one here knows. Jack Smith, ABC News, the State Department.
This is Sam Donaldson. President Carter on the campaign trail this morning sounded very much like a man who really doesn't know whether the hostages are about to be released.
Good news this morning on the hostages, Mr. President?
No news this morning.
Have you heard anything more?
Yeah, walk this way.
No.
Come on. Okay?
Still expect them back?
One day. Don't know when, though.
If you thought they were coming back, would you tell us?
Yes.
From Michigan, the president flew to Toledo, Ohio. There he held a town meeting. There were a lot of questions about the campaign.
And finally, let me say that Governor Reagan's proposals are absolutely ridiculous.
But no questions about the hostages, although reporters were kept busy by their news desks throughout the day trying to check the latest rumors. Is Hamilton Jordan in Paris negotiating the hostages' release? No, said two presidential aides. Is Secretary of State Muskie flying to Germany to welcome the hostages back? No, said the president. By early afternoon, Mr. Carter was back and headed for Camp David for an intensive preparation session for Tuesday's big presidential debate. By continuing to campaign hard, by denying he possesses any hard information, and by preparing hard for the debate, the president, the evidence suggests, is hoping for the hostages' release, but not really counting on it. Sam Donaldson, ABC News, Andrews Air Force Base, Maryland.
In Tehran, as preparations continue for tomorrow's meeting of the parliament, there was some encouragement from a former high Iranian official. We have this late satellite report narrated by Bob Dyke in London.
Iran's parliament meets here in a few hours for a committee report on major terms for freeing the hostages, who are said to be all back inside the embassy in Tehran. A former government official who has close ties to the Ayatollah Khomeini thinks the crisis may be over soon. He is one-time Foreign Minister Sadiq Gopsadeh.
The indications
or that the hostage problem will be resolved rather soon.
Reports from Iran received here in London give no indication when the hostages might be let go. There is still a full parliamentary debate ahead, and more conditions may be added to those drawn up by the committee. But Gopsade says the essential work is done. Bob Dyke, ABC News.
Atlanta these days is a city sick with worry and fear following the death or disappearance of 14 black children in the last 15 months. Again today, hundreds of Atlanta residents joined the search for the missing. Al Dale has the story.
Check hollow tree trunks, check abandoned equipment, and check abandoned houses.
2,000 volunteers, including the military and mounted sheriff's deputies, fanned out over a section of southeast Atlanta in a massive search for 4 missing black children. 2 of the 4 were last seen in the search area. 10-year-old Darren Glass and 11-year-old Christopher Richardson, whose grandfather was among the searchers.
Hope we don't find him like we did the child last week.
Last week, in a similar search, the body of a 7-year-old child missing for 3 months was found. Today's searchers were young and old, black and white.
Everybody ought to be doing something, and I feel like this is the only thing we've got left to do.
Today's search failed to find any of the missing children. Another will be organized for next Saturday. Al Dale, ABC News, Atlanta.
That's our report for now. More on the ABC News Weekend Report.
The Halftime Report is a presentation of ABC News.
We're back in Seattle. As you look out across Lake Washington, you see some of the trees are beginning to show the colors of autumn. Here in the Great Pacific Northwest, in our halftime score, the Midshipmen of Navy leading Washington 10-0. And down on the field here at Husky Stadium, you have the University of Washington Husky Marching Band with William E. Bissell, the director, performing at halftime, documenting the evolution of the United States.
Symbolizing the spirit of America, as is so appropriately stated in the American Creed. I believe in the United States of America, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, whose just powers are derived
from the consent of the government, a democracy and a republic, a sovereign nation of many sovereign states, a perfect union, one and inseparable, established upon those principles of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity, for which American patriots sacrificed their lives and fortunes. I therefore believe it is my duty to my country to love it, to support its Constitution, to obey its laws, to respect its flag, and to defend it against all enemies.
The Husky Marching Band performing at halftime with Navy leading Washington by a score of 10-0. We have already had one startling upset today with SMU beating Texas by a score of 20-6. A story documented a moment ago by Dave Dial. Today's Navy-Washington game is being brought to you by Chevrolet and your Chevy dealer with Chevette, Monza, Citation, and the new Monte Carlo. Chevy's up ahead for 1981. By Schlitz, the Master Brewers Brew. It's today's Schlitz. Go for it. By Mr. Goodrich and the General Motors Parts Division, who help you keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts. And by Arby's. You and I love roast beef at Arby's. Lean, trim, always nutritious, tender, juicy, always delicious. It's America's roast beef. Yes, sir. The music is Bow Down to Washington, the Husky fight song. returning to the field as the Washington band concludes a fine halftime performance. With Navy leading 10-0. We'll have the second half for you in just a moment.
There is one beer, only one, brewed like this one. Made by a master brewer, as mellow as a beer can be. Aged and thoroughly, quietly, chill-lagered every drop. For a taste that goes down smooth and satisfying. This one beer is Schlitz. Today's Schlitz. Go for it.
Dial-it has national sports news. It's new, it's rational just to call National Sports for all the latest reports. We're talking national sports news. We've got it all. 900, what a wonderful call. 900-976-1313. 900-976-1313. Dial it. We're talking to you.
Hi, I'm Fran Tarkenton with a great new game. It's Kenner's fantastic new live-action football. It sure beats those old blips and dots games. Play the computer or a friend. You see and control all the action. You see the tackles, you make them. There are interceptions, conversions, safeties. Live-action football makes me feel I'm back in the game. Who says I can't win the big one, huh, guys? Electronic live-action football, new from Kenner.
4,300 strong, the Naval Academy Brigade of Midshipmen.
Brigade, go, word, pour.
Young men and women from every state in the Union, preparing for careers in the Navy or Marine Corps. The 4-year program at Annapolis is a demanding one. After a rigorous introduction to military life during plebe summer, professional Navy training becomes part of everyday life. Leadership and discipline go side by side. Navigation and ship handling skills are mastered aboard yard patrol craft in the Chesapeake Bay. Academics are emphasized more than ever. Engineering, math, and science courses are required of all students, even though midshipmen can choose from any one of 18 majors, ranging from oceanography to resources management. It is this professional and technical education that midshipmen take with them when they graduate from the Naval Academy.
Well, let's see what the second half shall bring. Whether or not Don James and his staff, the enthusiasm of the home crowd, been able to rouse the Huskies for a second half effort. Navy, on the other hand, played well in the first half. They probably will play well in the second half. It may eventually become a matter of manpower. Callahan, number 22, the deep man. Nelson ready to kick it off. John Ross is the other deep man for Navy. And we're ready with the second half. It's kicked out of bounds. It'll cost the Huskies 5. They'll redo it. The Navy offensive unit that we expect to be out will be Reitzel at quarterback, Sherlock started at tailback, Tolbert the fullback, Papa John at wing, and Dent the wide receiver. The offensive front, which played so very well. Boy, I think they just were terrific in the first half. Boring, Hooper, Dolan, Tufel, McAllister, Gaynor. In penalties, Navy without a flag in the first half, Frank. That's significant. Washington flagged 4 times for 49 yards.
One of the things that George Welsh believes in is a strong defense and a flawless offense, and he's played just about as near perfect first half, both offensively and defensively, as I've seen this year.
From the 35, Nelson will kick it to Callahan and Ross. Got a lot of foot on it. Runs Callahan back to the 2 where he drops it and picks it up. And that cost him. He is nailed at the 15 by Tom Burnham. The Washington defensive front, Fletcher Jenkins is a tackle. He had 2 big plays. Mark Giroux in the middle guard position. And Rusty Olson, defensive tackle. Gagliardi is an outside linebacker. Ken Driscoll's an inside linebacker. Jerry McLean works inside. And Mark Stewart is the other outside linebacker. Navy's ball, first down at the 15. And Hooper is in. He was shaken up in the first half, but the big guys come back at guard for Navy. Reitzel gives it to Sherlock, and Sherlock is hit hard before he gets to the line of scrimmage by Scott Garnett, a freshman from Pasadena. Ray Horton is a cornerback for the Washington Huskies. Bill Stapleton plays the other corner, had a big day against Stanford. Ken Gardner returns the punts as well as plays strong safety. Derek Harvey is the other safety man. The ball is at the 14. It is second down, 11 for Navy. Reitzel on a roll, puts it in the air, intercepted, and it's Washington's ball at the 21, picked off by Jerry McLean.
How about that, Keith? McLean, the linebacker, does not take the fake. He hesitates momentarily of the run, but watches the action, keeping his eye on the football. Now he juggles it for a moment. It looks like he's going to drop it. He grabs it with his right hand, gets a little help from one of his teammates, and pulls it in for the interception.
And the Huskers are in business at the Navy 21 with the Midshipmen leading 10-0. The crowd quiets down. Tom Flick sets him up with Tyler and Stevens back of him. And it goes to Stevens, and Stevens is decked behind the line of scrimmage by Paul Soares, a sophomore from Wilmington, playing in relief of Steve Chambers, the starter who hurt a knee in the first half.
Well, that's a great play by on him.
They're the offensive unit for the Huskies. Scansey and Williams have been very quiet in the ball game so far today. Marsh Carter, Riley Curtis, Vanderveer, Bale. Bale had a big first half. Second down, 12 from the 23 of Navy. Flick will put it up. He throws. It is almost intercepted. It was right in the hands of Ted Dumbo.
Keith, that was a mirror of the interception by McLean. The linebacker, again, is not paying no attention to the fake. He's dropping back to the hook, keeping an eye on the ball. Watch his concentration on the passer. The passer will tell him where the ball's going. He threw it right to him. Couldn't hold on to it.
Third down and 12 from the 23. Flick swings it out, overthrows Kyle Stevens. He had him out there. Navy had given him some open field on that side of the field. But the Navy defensive bunch after him with Ken Fancher from Altus, Oklahoma. Chris Garner out of Norfolk, Virginia. Big guy. Terry Huxell, middle guard. Though Jordan played most of the time there. Steve Chambers out, probably for the rest of the game with a bad leg. Mike Rouser, defensive end. Nelson in, field goal try. It'll be a 40-yard attempt. He missed one in the first half from 31. A lot of leg. It is good. The Huskies are on the board. So Nelson hits from 40. It's a 10-3 ball game at 13:26 to go in the third quarter.
Here are the stats for the first half. You see Navy still has a little bit of an edge. It really doesn't reflect the true domination that they had in the first half, but the key number is the bottom on your right. 2 turnovers by Washington, none by Navy in the first half. There is the upset of the Southwest Conference. SMU coming off of 2 losses and beating undefeated second-ranked Texas.
Florida winning again in a non-conference game against the Louisville Cardinals. Baylor 14-6 over TCU. Baylor hasn't blown many people away, but Alabama got it cranked up after a while to roll over previously undefeated Southern Mississippi. UCLA leading by 16 over Cal, with Pittsburgh winning handily over Tennessee. All right, Washington will kick off. 10-3 ball game.
Gus Nelson kicking off.
And it's not going to be returned. He started out with it, and his partner back there said, "Don't do it." Dwayne Flowers, he almost stepped on the goal line. I mean, the toe of his shoe was right on the goal line. They got a lot of scoring going over Pullman in Eastern Washington, with Stanford leading Washington State 27-17. That's meaningful in the Pac-10 conference. Oklahoma got it rolling late in that game, too, to bury Iowa State. The football is at the 20, where Navy has it, first down. Huskies intercepted Reitzel in Navy's first possession to start the second half. Let's see if the Middies can cool off the Husky defense a little here. They give it to Sherlock, the tailback, and he's got about 3.
3 yards.
Keith, Washington has materially changed their defense. They've gone to a 6-1 and left the 5-2.
That's Sherlock down on the field, the tailback. He was twisted in that stack, and as he tried to spin away from the stack, he was grabbed and held. So we've got a timeout for the injured Navy man with 13:12 to go in the third quarter, and the Midshipmen leading 10-3.
Goodyear technology brings you an all-season steel-belted radial for the 80s. Today, you need a tire that gives you fuel economy and all-season performance, wet, dry traction, and long tread life, hydroplaning resistance, and dry road stability. Arriva. Even its footprint tells you it's different. Only from Goodyear. Goodyear. Quality and innovation.
Introducing the revolutionary twin action shaving system, engineered to outperform twin blades. The new Norelco Rotatract razor. Inside 3 floating heads, Rotatract works like twin blades without a nick or cut to grip hair, raise it up, then razor it off hundreds of times a second. For a shave no blade can beat. The new twin action Norelco Rotatract razor, cord and rechargeable. Twin blade closeness, but no gotcha.
Friday was this Ali's last fight. From the first bell through the painful aftermath. The Holmes Elite Championship bout, plus the WBC World Lightweight Championship. Friday on ABC.
Second down and 8 from the 23 with Myers in replacing Sherlock. Mike walked off. He'll probably be able to come back. Second down and 8. And they give it to the tailback Myers, and Myers runs into a 6-man front. He is chopped down by Mark Giroux, and that is a defensive change by Washington, Frank, as you suggest, aimed at stopping the run.
Yes, they're playing definitely a goal line defense. They couldn't stop them in the first half, and Giroux is playing right guard rather than over the center. He's taking on number 57.
No, 77.
No, 77, Hooper. And he then releases from the block and makes the play. That's a tough defense to run against.
Reitzel on a roll left. Sets it up, throws to the sidelines. Pass is caught. And the stumbling Matt McLaughlin, number 85, a senior from Bedford, New Hampshire. Knocked off balance by Bill Stapleton. And let's see where they put Matt down. It'll be a first down for Navy as the ball is marked at the 36, a pickup of 11.
Very difficult to run against the 6-1. You're covering the guards, you're covering the tackles, and you're covering the ends, and there's very little opening for the ball carrier to break into.
So the Middies move it out, get a little more comfortable field position. That's Myers, the tailback. He's got 2. Scott Garnett, the tackle.
He got about 2 before it started.
In this first 2 series by Navy, Keith, we haven't seen the gaping holes as we did in the first half that were made by the offensive line of the Middies.
You were looking at one of the 2 Lake Washington floating bridges just beyond Husky Stadium here. It is second down, 8. Reitzel has to, oh, he doesn't have time either. He just started to fire it, and it looked to me like Papa John downfield open, but Fletcher Jenkins got him.
Actually, with the 6-1, you get additional rush. You're rushing over the guards, you're rushing over the tackles, and 4 offensive men have got to make perfect blocks and give the pass ample protections. Defense that has its advantages in this particular situation when Washington must stop Navy and get the ball.
Third and 8. Draw to the fullback, Tolbert, trying to get to the outside. Huskies won't let him. So the Washington defense playing a little better to start the second half as Mark Stewart, outside linebacker, makes the play.
What do you think Don James told his team at the half? After he made the corrections, I've been there many times, after you make the corrections of mistakes, Keith, you call them over and say, hey, man, we've come too far. We've got to get ready to play the best football in the second half we can play all year.
Gardner is deep to accept the punt of Loletta. 2 kicks, 38.5 average. Rush. Kick is out of there. And out of bounds. It's marked out inside the 30. And so the Huskies get the football at 10:54 to go in the third quarter. Next Saturday, doubleheader for you. South Carolina, Georgia, one of the games, the prime game that many of you will be seeing, and it'll be a big one. South Carolina independent, lost only once. The great George Rogers, tailback. Georgia undefeated in the Southeastern Conference. Buck Bellew and his bunch of Bulldogs. First down. Ball is just outside the 25. Flick gives to Stevens. And Stevens runs into number 48, Travis Wallington, but drives it on upfield a couple of more yards after the contact was made. I'm sorry, it's Tyler, Toussaint Tyler, the big man. Wallington is in at the defensive end position right now instead of Fancher for Navy. The football is at the 33, and it's second down and about 3. It is Stevens this time over the right side for the Washington first down. So the Huskies come out playing a little power football.
Keith, we are seeing what we coaches know happens when you change the momentum. Washington got a break on the interception. He put 3 points on the scoreboard. It fires up your team, and it just has a little bit of a self-defeating attitude towards the Navy team, for the Navy team, and you see a big difference,
Ball is at the 38 of Washington. First down. First down pass, swing pass to Tyler. And Toussaint Tyler is all the way out to the 48. Close to a first down. Kronzer finally ran him out of bounds.
Still, we haven't seen the Washington very gifted wide receivers catch many passes. They're having to go, because of Navy's fine defensive play, to their backs coming out of the backfield or to the tight end on delayed patterns.
About a half a yard short of the first down. On second down. Stevens goes for it and gets it as he's very close to midfield.
Kyle Stevens. You notice the coach, he's signaling the offensive plays to the quarterback, just as a baseball third base coach, Keith, signals to the batter whether to bunt. What he's signaling, he's got to play. Well, he's going to call the formation, he's going to call the play, and he's going to call the blocking sometimes.
First down midfield. Fullback Tyler to the Navy 44, 6 yards. Big blocks, Mike Curtis and Randy Vanderveer, 75 and 79 on the right side. Purdue and Michigan State have got a dandy going. Mark Herman has put himself alone in the history books as the most prolific of collegiate passers. And look here. 27-20 in the second quarter. Stanford and Washington State. Oregon jumping on Nevada, Las Vegas. Oregon's a team who came in here and beat Washington 34-10. That's a sweep by Stevens, and it's a Washington first down as he runs it all the way down to the 36-yard line.
Excellent run by Kyle Stevens. He took the pitch. He wasn't looking for a touchdown. He was running for 4 or 5 yards. The Washington team is fired up. They're coming off of the ball, getting more surge than they did at any time in the first half.
Stevens weighs 176 out of San Jose, California. Not that big, but he's tough. Just outside the Navy 36. Stevens again, and he's down at the 35. Rice 10-6 over A&M. And Baylor 14-6 over TCU in the Southwest.
Keith, a lot of people feel the Southwest Conference has the best balance that they've had from top to bottom in a long, long time, and these scores indicate that.
Second down, about 8. Fleck gives the ball to the fullback Tyler. And Tyler runs into Kronzer. And Tyler has a loss.
Well, it was unfortunate for Washington and that they ran the draw play when they had the linebackers blitzing, and Kronzer came right through the gap and made the play.
The play wigwagged in. Ball is at the...
How'd you know we call it wigwag? That's what the coaches refer to it, the wigwagging system.
At the 39. Third down, 13. Flick to pass. Good protection. Gets it off. Incomplete. Like Aaron Williams, number 91. And he took a pop from Jeff Shoemake, 14. We have a special Sunday edition of ABC's NFL football. And what a matchup. San Diego Chargers out of the West against the Dallas Cowboys. The AFC best right now, and one of the best in the NFC, the Cowboys. It brings up fourth down now for Washington. And Camarillo to punt. Straight up in the air. Mike Swanson won't have to use but the fingers on one hand to figure that one out. Oops, 13 yards. 13 yards on the punt. 7:05 to play third quarter. Navy leading by 7. They get the ball.
The question is why? The question is why?
81 Caprice Classic. You can spend more. The question is, why? Why spend more for a smooth, quiet ride, plus room and luxury like this? Why pay more for V6 mileage estimates like these? Chevrolet Caprice Classic. You can spend more.
The question is why? MDs love RVs. The big O loves RVs. You and I love RVs. You and I love America's roast beef. Yes, sir. BWs love RVs. MBAs love RVs. You and I love roast beef at Arby's. You and I love roast beef at Arby's. Come in and get it. America's roast beef. Yes, sir.
As a member of the National Operating Committee on Standards for Athletic Equipment, the NCAA is dedicated to the development of safe athletic equipment, encouraging student athletes to maintain and use their equipment for their own safety as well as their opponents.
Navy's ball, first down at the 27. Midshipman defense stiffens and takes the ball away from Washington. And it is Myers, Eddie Myers. And maybe a yard. Brett Gagliardi and Ray Horton, the defensive play for Washington.
From this vantage point, it appears that Navy is going to have to go to the air. They don't want to sit back conservatively on this lead because Washington is too strong offensively.
Give him 2 to the 29. Second down and 8. Myers, big hole, left side. First down, Midshipmen. Out to the 42. Big block. Dolan, Tufel.
Here it is again. You'll see Myers just running straight over the blocks of Huppa, number 75, to 77, and Dolan, number 75, running right to the safety man. Big play. First gain they've made in this half running the ball.
And it's first down at their own 42 for the Midshipmen. Myers. He'll be about the 47. If they give him that much, it'll be fine.
Myers,
Husky shaken up on the play. Ken Gardner, strong safety, senior out of Seattle. Ball is marked closer to the 46. It'll be 2nd down and 6 coming up with 5:56 to play in the 3rd period. The Navy offensive front, 2 starters lost, total of 6 Navy offensive linemen lost, 3 tackles and 3 guards. And yet the men who were playing that position in the first half were really outstanding.
They have got good movement through most of the ball game on the Husky defense, Keith. It's been obvious from here that they get that surge. They're big and they've got the manpower, but they're getting the movement that's needed for those backs to make the yardage.
The injured Husky on the field is Ken Gardner. They're taking their time with him. The sun is out bright again. It's been a very comfortable day. The temperature in the middle 50s. Some scores. Florida State rolls along. Only 1 loss for the Seminoles. North Carolina continues undefeated, beating East Carolina today. They're set up to go to Oklahoma next week undefeated. Nebraska at halftime big over Colorado. Gardner is up and leaving the field now. Penn State had their troubles against the Mountaineers, winning by 5. Hate to see that. That looks like a knee.
Gardner has had a good year. He's had 3 interceptions. He's leading the team in punt returns, in the top 10 in the nation, in fact.
North Carolina State holding on to beat Clemson 24-20 in that ball game. It'll be 2nd down and 6 now. Chris O'Connor in the secondary for Washington. They've got a 6-man front up there. They give the ball to the Navy fullback, and he's to midfield. He needs 2 more yards for the 1st down. So it'll be 3rd and 2 coming.
Kevin Colbert.
Mike Sherlock is back in the ball game now at tailback for the Midshipmen. Reitzel flips it out. Pass good to Sherlock. 1st down, middies. Sherlock out of bounds at the Washington 36. Run out by Bill Stapleton. And now Navy answers with some impressive offensive performance.
Well, I think that Navy surprised everybody from Washington by throwing the pass on 3rd and 1, but they've been stopped a couple of times. That's a well-called play to throw to the back coming out of the backfield on 3rd and 2. The linebackers were up close playing the run, and he was wide open for a big 1st down.
Gain of 14 yards. 1st down at the Washington 36. Sherlock dives to the 30.
Keith, you'd have to be impressed with a Navy team. They came into the game underdogs. They played excellent defense. The only points that Washington has gotten is after an interception, and now the offense with their backs to the wall and moving down the field, ready to put some more points on the scoreboard.
Myers is back at tailback. Sherlock out for the middies. Reitzel gives it to Callahan, and Callahan on a wingback reverse is inside the 25 to the 24. Another Navy 1st down.
You know, Keith, they're still making their big yardage over the left side of the Navy line, where Boring and Hooper and Dolan are doing an excellent job.
Washington 24, 1st down Navy. Reitzel to throw it. Now he's got some room. He's out of bounds at the Washington 6. 1st and goal to go for Navy as Eddie Myers threw a big block to get him downfield.
Watch the quarterback Reitzel. He's going to fake, and his receivers are all covered. He doesn't want to throw the ball downfield and risk an interception. He's got a good field goal kicker, so what does he do? Makes a very smart play. He tucks the ball under. You can see he's 6'2", 210 pounds. He's a good runner. There's Myers' block. Now he runs out of bounds at the 5, and it's a 1st down.
On the 6, 18-yard pickup First and goal to go Navy. Papa John in motion. Tailback. And Myers almost squirts in there. He's down to the 2 on that spinning second effort. Chris O'Connor finally got him down.
That was Eddie Myers. Made an excellent run, Keith. Fletcher Jenkins, the left tackle, hit Myers in the backfield really for a loss. And he had his momentum up, and he's built low to the ground. He's 5'10", 200 pounds, and he just bowled his way right to the 3-yard line.
Tolbert out, Flowers in. Got to change Tolbert's shirt. Callahan, the wingback. Option by Reitzel. Touchdown, Navy.
Watch the man in motion. He does it about face. Navy calls it the disco formation. It's an option play after faking the plow as the fullback. Reitzel, instead of pitching the ball back, keeps it and dives into the end zone for the touchdown. Great effort on his part.
So Reitzel has scored the 2 touchdowns for Navy. And here's the point after. By fair, it is good. 3:04 to play in the 3rd quarter. And hear ye, it is Navy 17, Washington 3.
It's lightweight, it's portable, it's virtually indestructible. You can hammer on it, saw on it, sand on it, paint on it, drive a screw on it, cut a pipe on it, clean a door on it, fix a picture on it, or a wheelbarrow, or a chair, or a bicycle. You can even have your lunch on it. The incredible Black & Decker Workmate. When America has a job to do, it reaches for Black & Decker.
Hey! You're driving half a car. To prove Haviland Supreme gives cars engine protection up front. I know, but... Well, you should know. It delivered proven protection in punishing state trooper testing. Yeah, but... Where's the rest of my car? Yeah. Here it comes. To prove Texaco's Haviland Supreme delivered improved mileage, too. Upfront protection backed by improved mileage. That's Haviland Supreme. Do me a favor. I know. Prove how good Haviland is in the next county, huh?
All right. Red Reitzel, 6'3", 210 senior from Verona, New Jersey. He just scored the 2nd touchdown. He's 6 for 39 on the ground. Here we go. He's pleased. 73 yards in 10 plays, using a little more than 4 minutes. The kickoff is fielded by Blacken. Penalty flag down as they throw it back across the field to Anthony Allen, as Don James is going to the playbook trying to find some stuff to get it cranked up, but there's a penalty flag thrown by the referee, James Springer, back at the 8-yard line. Well, we'll see what the problem is. Blacken was back in a receiving position on the kickoff, threw the ball across field, but Anthony Allen couldn't really find a whole lot of room. He got out to the 27. Here's the call.
Illegal procedure calls against the Huskies.
That'll back them up, and that really can take the wind out of their sails on the illegal procedure.
Keith, I guess that...
he called a fair catch,
Fair
yes.
catch signal given on the kickoff, and then running with the ball, delay 5 yards, half the distance to the goal line.
Well, I saw Blacken waving his arms back there. I really didn't... It's little mistakes like that.
It is. That's an unusual play.
I don't know.
He didn't have
I've never
to
seen it.
catch.
I've never seen it on a kickoff. So the ball is put back at the 4. And Washington, which has not had great field position all day long. Now watch the kickoff. You see him wave his arm? That's a fair catch.
That is definitely a fair catch. I don't know what. I guess he's saying, the only thing I can imagine him saying is, I've got it, I've got it, and telling everybody that I've got it, and he gave a legal fair catch signal in the process.
And in effect, the play was dead right there when he caught the ball on the 8-yard line, but you add to it an illegal procedure on it, and it cost him back to the 4. On second down, Flick goes in the air and completes the pass to Anthony Allen up at the 19, and that will be a Washington first down. So the Huskies get off the hook there on that pass play, and the Navy scoring drive reflected there. And Mark Herman is just tearing up the record books.
330 yards, 24 out of 36. That's some day. And it's not over. It's fourth quarter.
All right, let's say the 20. It's very close to the 20. First down for Washington. That running play goes no place. 3 white shirts were right there to greet the Washington ball carrier.
What's really impressive about the Navy defense is their pursuit, their lateral movement. They have enough muscle to make a good play, but more than this, their lateral movement up and down the line. You see 2 or 3 middies in almost every play.
Tyler has now 14 carries and 82 yards, second down and 9 for Washington, just outside the 20. Flick still got it. Gets it off deep. Blacken's out there. It is incomplete. 3 Navy men were back there with him. Ross, Shoemake, and you see Blackens comes up hobbling.
Keith, that was an excellent throw. Blacken had a slight chance, as we'll see. It's a play-action pass, and it kind of mesmerizes the defense, and Blacken is trying to get in behind them, and it's just an old Hail Mary type pass, but watch it. It's going to be right on target. I believe Blacken gets his hands on it. Can't control it, but at least it's close. He had a chance.
It is 3rd and 9 from near the 21. Flick's pass is good. Scansey. And they've got him right about the 30. Just depends on where they put it down. It may be a first down.
One of the best passes to throw on your end of the field is an undercover route where you're spinning most of the receivers deep, but the outside receiver fakes and comes back underneath, and then needs to try to make the first down after the reception. Navy, as you can see, has good pursuit. They're coming back, and the gang tackle him pretty good.
Oh, Shoemake really hit him, didn't he?
Yes.
He almost bent him away from the first down area. That was a play, too, that the Huskies drove USC crazy with a year ago here. A little short.
Well, with receivers like Williams and Allen and Scansey, you have a chance on that type of pass to give the those good runners, a chance to move with it.
Oh, that's close, but not quite. 17-3. Navy leading by 14 with 1:05 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Given this set of circumstances, I believe he's got to go for it. He's got to take the chance.
You say go. Can't be more than what?
3 or 4 inches.
3 or 4 inches?
Yes.
They've got the big horse, Roseboro, in there, 231-pounder. 4th down and 3 or 4 inches.
They'll go to their goal line offense, and they've had great success handing off to the tailback. 3 tight ends in the ball game, running over either the right tackle or the left tackle. They've had success on this play 80% of the time this year.
So here comes a considered risk. Maybe stuffs those linebackers in there tight. The quarterback, Flick, is across the 30. That's all he needed.
I agree with that call. I don't think he had any choice, Keith, but to go for it. Trailing by 14 points in the 3rd quarter, about over. Got to keep possession.
Washington along the offensive front, very big. The tackles especially. Kurt Marsh, 275. He had a leg infection, laid him up a lot of the week. Vanderveer, the other tackle, is a 280-pounder, both of them at 6'5". But they've not rooted that Navy defense around a whole lot today. First down just outside the 30. Flick on a roll. Pass is good to Williams. Oh, he's a burner. It's touchdown, Washington.
We wondered where those wide receivers were. Well, there they showed up.
Now Chuck Nelson is in to try to make it a 17-10 ball game with 15 seconds to play in the third quarter. He's got it.
This is one of the most spectacular individual efforts that I have seen this entire year. It's a drag pattern off of the fake up the middle. Flick is right on. Watch Williams. He makes a fine catch, but then the excitement really begins as 14 Shoemake misses it. Bob misses it, number 34, and it's a streak right down the boundary for the touchdown. Just a sensational play by Aaron Williams, number 91. Here's another view from the end zone. You'll see the fake up the middle, and it's a drag pattern. Flick is looking back to the hit. Williams coming across the middle. Fine catch, good concentration. There you see 14 Shoemake missing. 34 Bobbitt's going to try the last minute. Now we'll isolate on Williams coming across the middle, finding the opening spot. Excellent receiver. Had a great game last week of over 117 yards.
Navy should have made the tackle there, Brink.
Yes, they should have made the tackle right there, but Williams is a fine runner. He just uses his individual effort. Oh, sensational touchdown play.
17-10 ball game now as Washington kicks off. And into sunshine. It accepted on the goal line by Dwayne Flowers. And he is thundered to the ground up around the 15-yard line.
And you talked about Big Mo. Have you seen it shift?
It might have a purple shirt on right now.
Oh, does it? You can feel it from the stands.
Flowers shaken up on the hit. Numbers there on the scoring strike by Washington. Dwayne Flowers, the injured Navy man. Clausen came down and popped him on that kickoff return. He hesitated a moment, apparently not realizing that he had to go with the ball because he was 1 foot in the end zone and 1 foot out. 27-27 at Pullman in eastern Washington this afternoon. Well, that's a big time. My buddies with the WSU Foundation are over there this week for their meeting, and they're seeing quite a football game, aren't they?
Well, in the Pac-10, you have these type games. This is the most pass-oriented conference and also the most offensive-minded conference in America today.
He is sort of holding that left side after taking the hit. I hope it's not too serious.
I was greatly impressed with Stanford's John Elway last week, even in a losing cause.
Navy's ball, first down at their 15. Reitzel pitches to Myers. And Myers, a determined fellow, gets it across the 20 to the 21. And that stops the clock with 5 seconds to play in the third quarter.
It's a good first down gain. 5.5, 6 yards. All on Myers' effort, Keith. He just turned up the field. He was determined not to get tackled, and he broke some tackles and made the 6-yard gain.
This is a very important series right here for both teams.
Absolutely. I agree.
It's kind of like a pitcher getting a go-ahead run, whether or not he can shut him out the next inning. Second down, 4. That fullback, Tolbert, moved a little bit, but he did not move his hands. Washington protesting some on it. He bobbed his shoulders just a little bit, but the third quarter is over. With Navy leading 17-10, we'll continue after this commercial message and a word from our local station.
It's raining, Ollie.
I can see that.
The wipers sure are making a mess.
Well, why don't you do something to help me? Oh!
Once a year, it makes sense to get yourself a new set of Anco wiper blades. It's simple, quick, and an inexpensive way to see your way clear again.
But that's much better, Ollie.
Why, thank you, Stanley.
I may be the only man running a major brewery who is a master brewer. Have been for 40 years. I'm Frank Sellinger, Chief Executive Officer of Schlitz. 2 years ago, when they asked me to come to Schlitz, they said, Frank, let's make the best. Here it is, Schlitz. Compare Schlitz with any other beer. This has the taste that I've been after for 40 years. I know you'll like it.
This is ABC.
Put on a smile and cheer up, fly with a happy face. Alaska's really here, fly with a happy face.
Because of our happy faces, more people are flying on Alaska Airlines to, from, and around Alaska every year. We think that's really something to smile about.
Alaska spreads sunshine all over the place, so fly with a happy face. Alaska!
Hi, I'm Norm Evans for your local Chevy All-Star dealers. They've got you covered in the Puget Sound area with real economy Chevys, great deals, and top service. So for small Chevys like a Monza or Love Truck, touch down with your local Chevy All-Star first. He's got your car, he's got your deal. In Auburn, it's Boffel Brothers Chevrolet. In Kent, it's Bill Hazlett Chevrolet.
We start the fourth quarter of play. Navy leading 17-10. Third down and 1 to keep possession of the ball. Reitzel. Running, diving, gets it. He went out on the 26. Oh, Mr. Quarterback does it himself again.
You know, one thing that has impressed me about Reitzel is the fact he takes charge on the critical situation. I remember Bobby Dodd, my coach, used to tell me, and coaching us at all times, you take charge, you be the quarterback. That's the man to do it when going gets tough.
First and 10 Navy on its 26.
First down from the 26 of Navy. Reitzel still got it. Gets his pass off. It is incomplete. Diving and trying for it is Bill Stapleton, but it bounced in front of him as the intended receiver, Dave Dent, was downfield.
Dent's going to run a deep pattern off of a play-action fake, but Stapleton is the fastest receiver. It's a man-for-man coverage. He weaves in and out, trying to get to the outside. The ball is underthrown and could have been intercepted. Watch it. A little bit more effort on Stapleton's part. It could have been intercepted.
Second down and 10 from the 26 now for Navy. Tailback Myers. Hard runner. Gets it out to the 33. Fletcher Jenkins on the tackle. Statistics after 3 quarters.
Well, the stats are evening out a little bit because of Washington's last touchdown. You can see that the Navy still leads in first downs and in rushing, but Washington has the big advantage in passing, about the same in total yards. Turnovers, Washington 2 and Navy 1.
It'll be third down and 4 with Sherlock back in the tailback position for Navy. Sets up the the screen to Sherlock. Got the first down and then some. Good call.
Keith, that was a great call and beautiful execution by Reitzel. Watch him. A screen depends upon the quarterback's play action. See if you can tell it's a screen. Watch Reitzel. He's looking down the field. Now he's drifting, and he's close to the receiver, Sherlock, and he breaks in behind the blocking of the guard and the tackle. They were leading. Big play, big first down.
Give Mike Dolan some credit. The big center was out there in the setup of the screen, and he nailed a block to really get him loose, and it's first down Navy just short of the 45. 13-yard pickup. Going to reverse it with Callahan. Now back to Reitzel, and Reitzel is going to get away. He's got pressure coming from the back, and finally he is brought down. Brett Gagliardi chased him 2/3 of the way across the field before he finally got a hold of it.
What a sensational play. Let's see if we can describe it again. It's going to be the pitch, reverse, hand back, or lateral to the quarterback. Reitzel is trying to throw deep to the wide receivers. They were covered. Washington was not fooled. Then we see Jenkins, 65, jump on top of him. But Reitzel is big and strong, and Gagliardi, number 82, is chasing from behind and finally makes the play.
And he lost 2 yards. Second down and 12. Tailback Sherlock. And he's up across the 45. Jerry McLean, the tackle for Washington. So here comes 3rd and long, 3rd and 9.
This is one of the few times that Navy has had 3rd and long yardage. They've done a great job of calling their plays, their play selection, in avoiding the down that gives the defense so much of advantage. 3rd and long. Be interesting to see what type of pass they throw, or do they go conservative and run the football?
Nickel defense in for Washington. What a throw. Over the middle, he had him. Oh, the second man downfield caught it. How do you do? Dave Dent was not the primary target on the play.
Keith, you saw it perfectly, and I don't think I've ever seen this before. He's throwing the ball to Papa John, 82, and it's overthrown, but because of the hustle of Dent, number 86, who is coming across the middle, Dave Dent, he is not the primary choice. The ball is thrown in front of him, but because of his alertness, it's a sensational reception.
And that play may be so big in this ball game before it is done. 25-yard gain, first down at the Washington 29. Sherlock over the top to the 24. Good block by Tufel, 57. Well, we're seeing something here in Seattle today. How about next Saturday? We'll have a doubleheader for you, including the South Carolina-Georgia game, which will be played between the Hedges and Athens.
I've been there many times, and Georgia's got the finest young freshman running back since Earl Campbell enrolled in Texas. Herschel Walker, 220 pounds, is a sensational player that all of you will want to see.
Jim Carlin's Gamecocks offer the prime Heisman candidate, George Rogers. Second down, 6. Reitzel's outside. And he's short of his first down as he's run out at the 21. Derek Hardy ran him out.
And we must remember that Reitzel has been on the defensive side of the field for the Middies, has played safety man for the last 2 years. They needed a quarterback. He moved over, and that particular play would show you, and you'd think that he had been a quarterback all of his life.
Yep. He's had his numbers in passing are not all that impressive. He's 6 out of 15 for 104 yards. He's picked up 44 on the ground, but the point is he has made the big play and scored both the touchdowns. Third and 2. Eddie Myers has got the first down. He's to the Washington 18. Had it not been for Mark Stewart, he might have scored. Nebraska rolled today. So did BC. They're still playing in the 4th there. I'm sure it's over. We just don't have the final. Princeton beating Harvard 7-3. 18-yard line. First down, Navy. Myers just short of the 15. Garnett, the tackle for the Huskies.
The Huskies have got to build a goal line defense as quickly as they can, Keith. They are in desperate straits right now because of the very fine execution of the Midi offense. Team that has rebuilt their offensive line because of injuries. A former safety man playing quarterback. Give George Welsh a lot of credit.
They don't quit, do they?
No, they don't. They come to play, as we say.
Reitzel finds some room up the middle. He's to the 5. It's first and goal to go for Navy. And Mark Giroux, number 67, the middle guard, almost had him.
Well, Keith, again, Reitzel recognizes that his receivers are covered, but he has the muscle and the quickness to jump right up the middle and make another key first down. First down on the 5-yard line.
McLaughlin is in. That gives him a double tight end alignment. McLaughlin and Gaynor. Tailback Myers. Fumbles in the end zone. Recovered Navy. Touchdown.
Keith, now, all Myers has to do is cross the plane for the touchdown, but the official did not signal. Let's see. Those of you at home be the judge as whether he... No, the ball has come out.
Yeah, and guess who's on top of it? Watch. Watch here. Guess who sits on the ball for the touchdown? Reitzel. 3 touchdowns on the day.
That is a sensational effort by Reitzel for a quarterback to recover the ball over the goal line. Keith, I've never seen that.
Bears kick is good. And with 9 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the ball game, you're sitting in on a considerable upset in the making, with Navy leading by 14.
General Motors introduces Computer Command Control, a new system that uses this onboard computer to help GM achieve the highest corporate average fuel economy in its history, while reducing exhaust emissions to the lowest in GM history. From now on, you'll activate this computer when you step on the gas. And it's on all standard and most optional gasoline engines from Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and Cadillac. The computer monitors oxygen in the exhaust, engine speed, and coolant temperature, adjusting the air-fuel mixture to control combustion so that the catalytic converter can minimize emissions. Result, we're helping to clean the air while giving good fuel economy. Computer Command Control, designed and engineered for a changing world.
Tomorrow, the best men and women golfers from the 4 corners of the globe compete in the exciting and colorful World Amateur Team Golf Championships. Tomorrow on ABC.
On that touchdown march by Navy, remember the pass that was overthrown to Papa John, caught by Dent, and then the quarterback recovering in the end zone. The ball skitters along the ground on the kickoff. It's picked up by a Husky. His knee was down when he picked up the ball, so it's got to be put down on the 26-yard line. So let's go back and look at the touchdown as Myers fumbles the ball well before he reaches the plane of the goal line. The quarterback following the play. Reitzel recovers for his 3rd TD of the day.
And Keith, that's the most unusual play for a quarterback who has handed the ball off, pitched the ball back in the backfield, has the alertness to be following the play, and once the fumble occurs, he jumps on the ball to recover for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Navy has dropped the ball 4 times today. They've recovered all of them. Allen goes in motion for Washington now. The Huskies are up against it with 9:15 to play. Flick dumps it off to David Bale, and Bale running to the sidelines gets the better part of 6, maybe 7, before Travis Wallington. A sophomore from Madison, North Carolina, brings him down.
Keith, Rick Anderson of Purdue set a Purdue record with 5 field goals. Sensational. 36-25.
That is second down and 4. The ball is handed off to Kyle Stevens, and Stevens runs hard and gets a first down for the Huskies just short of the 45. And the clock now running. Navy scoring drive there. 15 plays.
Without a fumble lost. They did fumble, but without any penalties. Now, am I correct, Keith, that the Navy has not had a penalty in the ball game?
Not a flag.
Well coached.
Flick back to throw. On first down, dumps it off short to Toussaint Tyler. And Tyler is caught right about the line of scrimmage. Good reaction by John Ross coming out of the secondary to make the play.
What we're seeing by Flick, he's sending his ends and wide receivers deep, but Navy is doing a sensational job of covering them, so he's going to his secondary receivers. Those are the ones close to the line of scrimmage so that he can avoid the loss.
The pass is away again to a secondary receiver, I suspect. Scansey, he's caught. There's a penalty flag. That might be a face mask. Nope, personal foul. There's your first flag on Navy. And it comes at a time when it'll help Washington. Might be... Well, somebody might have got there a little late. It's a big one. Here's the call.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, defense, first down.
At the Navy 37 for the Huskies.
Here it is again. Let's see if we can detect who was guilty. Yes, right here on the right, you can see coming in and actually speared the receiver.
Flick to throw it. Gets it off. Incomplete. Pass intended for Bale. It'll be second down and 10 from the Navy 37.
Flick had no chance. Tim Jordan, number 56, came through like a streak, and he was back, putting pressure on Flick. At the same time, Flick was setting up to throw the ball. Great effort by Jordan.
7:40 to play in the ball game. Navy leading 24-10. 14 points. Throw it to Tyler. And Tyler is chopped down by, guess who? Tim Jordan. He just slid right along the line and stuck his shoulder right on the thigh and took him down.
Keith, there's certain players like Tim Jordan that just have a knack of being around the football. Some players maybe with less ability, they never make plays, but Tim Jordan is around the football. He knows where it is. He's having an outstanding game.
3rd and 6. Long 6. Pass flipped out, intended for Tyler coming out of the backfield. He never looked back. He was wide open. The ball was softly thrown. All he had to do was turn, see it, catch it, and go.
Well, what happened, Keith, they had Navy had the blitz on, and Tyler was a hot receiver, and he wasn't ready for it.
College football scoreboard coming up next with Chris Schenkel and Dave Dials from New York. And there's a lot to talk about today.
That was a critical mistake on Tyler's part. He should have been watching for the blitzing linebacker and been ready for the quick pass. Flick was on target.
It is 4th down and a long 6 from the Navy 34. 4th down. Big play here. He's going for the bundle to Scansey. And penalty down on the field. Almost got to be interference on Elliott Reagan. No way Scansey gets to the ball if he just plays it. But instead he ran into him and knocked him down.
Keith, I agree. It was an easy call for the officials. It was definitely interference all the way. Scansey's the wide receiver. He's going deep, and he actually is behind Regan's number 47. You can see Regan's grab a hold of him, and he's pulling him. And now, when
pass interference, defense,
Regan,
first down.
The ball was short, right?
The ball was short, and Regan was trying to go back. Excuse me, Scancer was trying to go back for the ball, and Regan's had him blocked out.
That's a 26-yard penalty against the Navy. Time is called by Navy. They have 2 remaining with 6:56 to play.
Michelob brings you the 7-day weekend, all America style. Americans love weekends, not just the Saturday and Sunday kind, but whenever we take time to enjoy the good things in life, like the smooth and mellow taste of Michelob. Because all over America, Michelob helps make any time feel a little like a weekend.
Hey, put a little weekend in your week.
Yeah.
Falcon Parcel Service in Mountain View, California runs their Chevy Chevette fleet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So they know Chevette's durable enough to stay in service. To be in any business today, you've got to cover a lot of territory. And that's one of the reasons you'll see Chevy Chevette working all over the country. And starring in the Joey Chitwood Thrill Show, the 1981 Chevy Chevette, one tough son of a gun.
The Pacific 10 Conference is known for exciting wide-open football, but Pac-10 athletes excel in the classroom as well. Last year, 8 Pac-10 student athletes were named to the Academic All-America football team. Academics and athletics go hand in hand in making the Pac-10 the Conference of Champions.
Navy had not had a penalty until this Washington drive. They've been flagged twice for a personal foul, late hit, and pass interference. First and goal to go Washington from the Navy 7. Kyle Stevens. And he's down to the 2. 24-10 ball game. Navy leading. In case you just flipped it on, Washington was a prime favorite in this game. Second down and goal from the 2. Roseboro is in now, the big guy at fullback, with Tyler going back to tailback. Tyler has it, drops it. Navy's got it. Chris Garner recovered it. Tyler had the ball, trying to get himself positioned to dive over the stack. He dropped the football, and Garner pounced on it. And a penalty flag as a scuffle breaks out.
Well, Navy just won't quit, will they, Keith? They had the play stopped. Their goal line charge was excellent. Tyler was trying to get the ball, as you have already said, in his hands so that he could leap over. Here it is again. I think that we can see that Tyler never gets control of the ball. The Navy defense had charged across. They were in pretty good shape. Now the ball is on the ground even before Tyler gets to the line of scrimmage. Obviously, the defense has the big advantage because they see it. And Chris Garner, number 78, recovered.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the part of Toussaint Tyler, talking a little too much. And the penalty moves the football out to the Navy 18, where the Middies have it. First down. Washington has turned it over 3 times in the ball game. That one may have been fatal for them. 6:19 to play. Reitzel to Myers, and Eddie bounces away. Still going. Oh, you don't think that fella isn't tough?
Keith, that's as determined run as I've seen in a long time. 2 of the Husky backs had him head on. Watch Myers, number 40, as he goes right over guard. Number 40, Driscoll misses him. And then I think, number 30, O'Connor also misses him. Finally, Harvey wrestles him to the ground after a first down.
Navy on the 28. At the 28, first down, Midshipmen. Well, when he's hot, he's hot. Myers again, stepping it out. I'll tell you something else that's beginning to catch my eye in the Navy backfield, Frank, is that number 30 is a pretty good blocking fullback.
Keith, that's a valid point. He's been freeing up the runs for the tailbacks all day on those slants off tackle and the sweep. His assignment is to block the tackle or the linebacker, and he gets a headache, but he's done a good job.
It's another Navy first down at the 41. And Myers now 16 carries, 112 yards. This time Tolbert gets the ball. And Kevin gets it almost to midfield to the 49. Keith Boring, big junior out of Richmond, Ohio, made the block that got him started.
And then he took it upon himself, Tolbert did, by running through another block, a tackle or two, just on sheer determination.
You got to get a new shirt going in at fullback is Andrew Scahan from Freehold, New Jersey.
I wouldn't give him the ball. I'd let him block and give it to the tailback. No place for a player coming in, a Cole coming in for the first time.
5 minutes to play in the game. Navy leading by 14. Washington now in a 7-man front, trying to stop the run. This time they've got Myers. He picked up 2, close to the first down. Let's see, he had to cross the 49 to get the first down. He's close to it. Well, they'll bring the chains on, and that stops the clock at 4 minutes and 49 seconds to play in the football game. The Midshipmen came into Seattle yesterday. It was raining. George Welsh said, well, we don't care if it rains or not. You watch to see about the first down. The Middies coming in had lost to Virginia, beaten Kent State, beaten William and Mary, defeated Boston College, then upset by the Air Force by a point, 21-20, came back to beat Villanova, and they were underdog in the minds of most everybody coming into this football game, but they have certainly not played by underdogs. They have outplayed Washington all day long.
George Welsh has got to be extremely pleased with the performance of his team. They have dominated the game in every area from the first play, really.
That's right.
Been helped some by the Washington's offensive mistakes.
Especially in that first quarter.
36.
The first down call goes to the tailback, Sherlock. Sherlock splits the middle. And one more time runs it right up the gut and gets another first down as the big guys up front open the door for him. And it's becoming a swinging door.
And we have to mention again, there's the scoring today. But we have to mention again that George Welsh told me he'd had major surgery on his offensive line. 6 injured, 2 starters, great guard having to move to tackle, but yet today they have played sensationally.
Navy now with 24 first downs. They've made 9 in this fourth quarter. The ball is just short of the Washington 37, handed off to Kevin Tolbert, the fullback. Look at him. That will be another Navy first down at the Washington 26.
Would you think that they've forgotten that you have second and third downs to make the first down? They're making them on first down practically every time, and it's good surge by the offensive line and great running by the backs. Watch it again as Talbot, number 30, the fullback, takes a quick handoff, breaks into the secondary, but will not go down. Just a determined effort. He has his momentum, and he runs for the first down. Finally, Stapleton, number 11, along with Derek Harvey, brings him to the ground.
That may be too much time there.
Keith, the left end jumped off.
Did it?
Yes, the left end broke the snap count just ahead of the count.
You see the time there, and time is definitely on Navy's side now with 3:28 to play in the ball game. And for those of you in New England who've been watching other football action today, let me tell you, the Midshipmen of Navy are leading the Washington Huskies 24-10. We have 3:28 to play in the ball game. Navy has dominated.
Illegal procedure offense.
And that penalty of 5 moves it back to the 31 to make it first down and 15. Navy's picked up 17 first downs on the ground, and an awful lot of it's been right up the middle. Passing, they picked up 6 and 2 by penalty for a total of 25. It's Mike Sherlock caught behind the line of scrimmage. Chris O'Connor firing through from the strong safety position to make the tackle. And there's a loss on the play, back to the 33. So it'll be 2nd down and 17.
What we've been seeing on this entire drive is a gambling Washington defense, Keith. They've been blitzing, running through the gaps, trying to build a line of defense, but the Navy offense will not surrender, continuously making good yardage.
Fullback buried right at the line of scrimmage, Tolbert. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 17. The clock, however, is running. Washington with all 3 timeouts remaining. They're going to have to start spending some as we come up toward the 2-minute mark.
Given this set of circumstances, I don't believe that the Navy quarterback will put the ball in the air. Probably a rollout pass, but keep it himself and try to use up the time and maybe break outside for the 1st down.
Tailback Sherlock. Oh, he almost popped it. He almost broke it. Jerry McLean stopped him. I'll tell you, Frank, I don't think there's any question about the MVP award for Navy today.
No, very easy. And everybody that's watched this ball game would agree that Fred Reitzel has had a sensational game, a former defensive safety man, playing quarterback for the first time, making the decisions in critical situations, reacting when the receivers were covered, running for the first downs, critical situations, and scoring all three of the Navy touchdowns. Is that who you thought he was?
Yes. I would say so. It is 4th down for the Midshipmen. And whistle stop it. Would you not kick a field goal here?
No, I would not kick a field goal. Takes two scores.
Delay of the game, offense, 4th down.
You're looking at 4th down and very long 4th and 13.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do not run out of bounds. Do not throw an incomplete pass. And it uses up about 25 seconds. Less than a minute to play, leading by 14 points. You've got it up the bats, as they say.
Sherlock is brought down at the 26 of Washington. The Huskies will get the football, trailing by 14 points, 24-10, with 1:01 to play in the game.
Wendy's has the taste. And triple. Hamburgers fresh, not frozen. We have the taste.
Great chili.
The others have their slogans. Wendy's makes them fresh each day. Serves them up to you hot off the grill.
256 ways.
The way a good restaurant will. We have the taste.
Thick, frosty.
Wendy's has the taste. Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger taste. We have the taste and Wendy's taste. We have the taste and Wendy's taste.
Mr. Goodwrench, can I get an oil change, filter, and lube job in a hurry?
Sure. I'll do it while you wait.
Mr. Goodwrench knows you don't have time to waste, so he can offer while you wait service on many popular jobs. And he has the special GM tools, GM training, and genuine GM parts available to back it up.
All done? That was fast.
Well, time is money, Sam.
Keep that great GM feeling.
Where Mr. Goodwrench works.
With genuine GM parts.
Friday was this Ali's last fight. From the first bell through the painful aftermath. The Holmes Elite Championship bout, plus the WBC World Lightweight Championship. Friday on ABC.
1 minute and 1 second to play, with Navy sitting on a 24-10 lead. Going to play some defense against the Huskies. Washington will obviously be going to the air as Anthony Allen goes in motion. And Tom Flick is back to throw. The pass is thrown short and complete to Paul Scansey. The most valuable players in the ball game today for the Naval Academy, Fred Reitzel, the quarterback. Outstanding leadership on his part today, plus the 3 touchdowns. And for the University of Washington, the big defensive tackle, Pass thrown deep downfield, and it is incomplete. And no flag on that one. The big defensive tackle, Fletcher Jenkins, the junior out of Tacoma, number 65, who played so well along the defensive front for the Huskies today. And the respective universities, the Naval Academy and the University of Washington, receive $1,000 from Chevrolet for their general scholarship funds in the name of those players. 35 seconds to play in the ball game.
Keith, give much credit to the coaching staff of the Naval Academy for this game plan of flawless offensive play and outstanding defensive pursuit, gang tackling, everything that you look for in defense. They had it today.
Flick's pass is away. Flick's pass is complete to Anthony Allen. The clock running now at 27 seconds. Now 24 seconds. The horse, as they're wont to say down yonder, is out of the barn. Navy has won the football game. And there's the young man right there that engineered it. Red Wrightson.
Isn't he a fine-looking young man? Outstanding safety man.
Well, the Chief Naval Operations last year, Admiral Thomas B. Hayward in town, made a speech on Thursday, and he got a chance to see the midshipmen play the Huskies today. Navy has won twice. Washington has won twice, and the 5-game series has been a tie. Back in 1960, as we noted at the very beginning, Greg Mather came in here and kicked a field goal to beat a Rose Bowl-bound Washington team 15-14. 22 seconds remain to play.
May I speak to Mr. Little?
Yes, he's expecting your call. I know where to reach him.
With the ComKey system, your secretary can make conference calls. So even when you're out of the office, you won't miss important calls.
Hi, the merger's on. From now on, we're Ford and Little. Gee, I kind of thought Little and Ford. Well, you know, F comes before L.
The ComKey system by Western Electric. It saves you time and money.
Tall guys first, little guys second.
Only from the Bell system.
You can feel us coming now, a fresh look on the scene, with a whole new style of living, light and crisp and clean.
That's why now we say the age of 7-Up is here, because we love that crisp, refreshing taste, so light and crystal clear. Moving up, looking up.
Hey, Dave Parker's turning 7-Up.
America is turning 7-Up, reaching up, feeling up.
Mike Schmidt's turning 7-Up.
America is turning 7-Up.
All the scores of an upset-laden day coming up with Chris and Dave right after the ball game. Washington with 22 seconds to play. Flick back to throw it. Goes to Scansey. Scansey's got it. Down he goes. Kerplunk. Today's game produced by Chuck Howard, directed by Andy Sedaris. Our technical director, John Allen. Our associate director, Ben Harvey. Technical manager, Jerry Bobbian. Unit manager, Phil Annist. Our researcher, Jerry Klein. And statistician, Mike Swanson. And the sun is out bright and warm in Seattle as time is called one more time with 15 seconds remaining to play in the game, with Navy leading by 14.
This is Bob Hope at Texaco's refinery in Anacortes, Washington, where we're busy 24 hours a day refining crude oil into gasoline, aviation fuel, heating oil, and heavy industrial fuel. And to help us do the job, Texaco has increased its manufacturing capability and modernized its refineries here and around the country. It's the kind of investment we're making to bring you the fuels you need. At Texaco, we're working to keep your trust.
All right, we're just about ready for what may be the last weekend, probably, with Washington having one more timeout remaining. Get 2 plays here. Had breakfast this morning with Admiral Bill Lawrence, the Naval Academy Superintendent, Bo Coppage, the Athletic Director, and I imagine both of them are walking with a light step right now. 2nd down and 3 for the Huskies. The ball is up to 44. And Flick pops it over the middle to Allen. Allen's got some room. He goes out of bounds. Down at the Navy, 29. And 8 seconds remaining to play. So the Huskies still gunning. This, of course, will not count in the Pac-10 conference standings. Washington will be, I am sure, still the considered favorite in the race to the Roses, what with all the penalties that have been levied. You see the catch here by Anthony Allen.
He's coming right across the middle, and then you can see his running ability. He was a quarterback in high school and a very good one. Gets out of bounds very wisely to give Washington another play.
Tom Flick, 18 out of 29 for 204 yards on the day, and he's back to throw it one more time. He puts it up. He goes for the corner. He's got Allen. He's down at the 5. 1 second. 1 tick remaining on the clock.
Keith, and we go back to the fumble by Tyler with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to play when they were threatening to score from the 5-yard line. And had they not fumbled there, this would have been some finish.
Yes, sir. Oh, that look what I found catch by Dent alertly. And the Navy drive, the Navy fumble into the end zone, the recovery by Reichel. A lot of ifs.
That's football, in particular college football. You cannot predict. Here's Allen again. Number 15 is going to go in and back to the corner, the flag route. He's wide open. Catches the ball, controls it, falls with 1 second left to play.
And it's 1st and goal, Washington, at the Navy 5 with 1 tick remaining on the clock. 1 second. Last week, Washington beat Stanford as time expired on a 24-yard field goal from Chuck Nelson. The issue is no longer in doubt. The only question remaining now is whether or not Washington can score a touchdown. It'll make the trip home tomorrow quite pleasant for the Middies. Flick to throw. Getting some pressure. They've got him. The game is over. Navy upsets Washington. There goes Bill Lawrence, Admiral Lawrence, superintendent of the academy, going right out into the middle of the melee. And why not?
And Idaho Bladen. I think it's great that the Naval Academy has been able to come up and compete at the major college level.
And so, in Seattle this afternoon, we see Navy beat Washington 24-10.
This Bud's for everyone who serves us a hot one, pops us a cold one.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
This is my New York life agent. How did he get so big in my eyes? When I got married, he suggested a very affordable starter policy. He really grew in my eyes. Later, the same New York life agent gave me brilliant advice in business insurance, and he grew some more. Now it's a policy that guarantees retirement income. My New York life agent stands 10 feet high with me. Ask your New York life agent. He has the answers for you.
Introducing the 1981 Chevy Malibu Sports Sedan. A solid, sensible car with a 6-passenger interior, impressive V6 mileage, a comfortable ride, plus a little something sensible cars are not ordinarily known for. Chevrolet introduces the Malibu Sports Sedan. A 4-door with a difference. A 4-door with pizzazz.
Travel arrangements made through and promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what Friendly Skies are all about. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports. Our final score again from Seattle. Navy upsets the Washington